Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to the Honey Sea Star Tarot, and welcome to the week of April 27th all the way to May 1st. We are walking into May this week, and this week there is a breath between worlds that is truly being opened, because this week is going to feel like a whisper carried on the wind. Quiet, but also undeniable, because there is a shift that is moving through your thoughts, through your relationships, and the unseen spaces of your life. As the moon is going to be gliding through Libra this week, forming a rare and electric Grand Air Trine, something is going to begin to open. And it's going to be an opening of the mind for each and every sign in a different way. We'll get into it, I promise. This is where conversations spark destiny. Ideas become portals, and the connections you make, both within yourself and with others, begin to rearrange your path in subtle but powerful ways this week. And then, as we arrive at the Scorpio full moon, this illumination is going to rise from the depths. What has been hidden asks to be felt this week. What has been avoided asks to be faced. And with Mercury also happening to meet Chiron, both of them are in Aries right now, healing truly begins where truth is spoken. This is a week where mental awakenings and emotional revelations happen, but they also form a bridge between logic and transformation. And if you listen closely, you may realize this moment was always meant for you. Now, before we get started, I just truly want to say thank you guys so much for being here, being a part of the Honey Sea Star family, each and every one of you. All the ways that you contribute, that you support, that you show your love for this channel, for each other, is what makes this channel a success, but it's also, more importantly, what elevates these messages to the collective so that we can all rise together. So truly, your likes, your views, your subscribes, your hypes, your comments end up being the confirmation above all things for someone else that someone truly needs to hear when they need it most. Also, too, your donations, your super thanks, your Honey Sea Star store purchases, each and every bit of it makes a difference with keeping the lights on, keeping these messages going, and more importantly, connecting each and every one of us together. So please know, I am so grateful for each and every one of you, and I love you back. So let's get into the cards. So Aries, this week is going to move through three powerful layers of your experience. Your mind, your emotions, and your identity are all asking you to meet yourself with more honesty than you've been holding. And this is the week where truth moves through you and it changes everything, because the Grand Air Trine, the Scorpio full moon, and the Mercury conjunction with Chiron are all activating different parts of your life, but they're working toward the same thing. And that's really looking at which is truth, what is truth, that becomes something that you can no longer ignore. And if that resonates, let me know. Because as the moon moves into Libra in your 7th house and activates this Grand Air Trine, your relationships become the space where clarity begins to form in a beautiful way. So with Uranus and Venus being in your 3rd house, your mind is opening quickly, and your conversations may feel spontaneous, revealing, or even unexpectedly honest. You might even surprise yourself in that way. This is where you could find yourself saying things that shift the direction of a conversation in real time. You may also be hearing something from someone else that changes your perspective instantly. And with Pluto in this Grand Trine, in your 11th house, in Aquarius energy, future forward-minded thinking, our transformation planet is also reshaping your social world, because your 11th house is your community, your contribution, your sense of belonging, also your long-held dreams. So you've got your partnership house, you've got your communication house, and you've got your social house being lit up under this Grand Trine between the moon in Libra, Uranus and Venus in Gemini, and then also Pluto in Aquarius. And this Grand Trine, with Pluto in particular, showing you which connections feel aligned with your future and which ones are quietly asking to evolve or fall away. This Grand Trine is not going to be passive for you. It's actively moving awareness for you between your thoughts, your words, and your relationships, so that truth becomes easier to see and also harder to avoid. So what we're looking at is really standing in your truth and how to anchor that into your relationships, in your life, and most importantly, in your transformation and in your healing. Because remember, full moons are about coming into completion. So this is a closure cycle from the last 6 months. So think back to 6 months ago as to what new beginnings started, because this is the time where those are coming to a close. And Scorpio, Scorpio is deep. It goes to the depths. It wants truth. It wants real when it comes to love, when it comes to faith, when it comes to emotions. So, and also your intuition. And with the full moon rising in your 8th house of transformation at 11 degrees, no less, everything is going to deepen into an emotional honesty level that brings things to a part of to a place of conclusion. And it's going to open up your sacral energy. So think back to what started 6 months ago, because this is where you're truly looking at what's caused exhaustion, what's caused excessive pressure or excessive responsibility to be put on you. We're coming to an end of that. This is a closure cycle. And this is the part of the week where surface level understanding is no longer just enough. You want truth. You want that truth anchored into your foundation. This is also the point where that closure makes room for a new beginning. And if that resonates, let me know, because 11 degrees is mastery. The number 11 carries this intuitive awakening, and in your 8th house, it brings awareness to trust, vulnerability, emotional exchange, and the energy that you share with others. It could also involve debts, inheritances, emotional, financial, spiritual, and material entanglements. This is where you're truly looking at things. You're being assertive, especially with your communication house being opened with this Grand Air Trine. So something may surface with this full moon this week that has been unspoken or felt beneath the surface for quite some time for the last 6 months. This could be a realization about a relationship dynamic, an emotional truth about an attachment or fear, or even a moment where you finally see what has been shaping your emotional responses. But this full moon is truly asking you to release what you've been carrying internally and no longer hold it in the same way, right? This is truly about looking at your thoughts, your dreams with this Piscean energy. Could be dealing with a Pisces, Aquarius, or Capricorn energy, by the way. But this is looking at the dreams and how your relationships truly entangle together. And you're looking at your future, right? You're looking at the foundation that it's built on. And this is utilizing your assertiveness, your quick wit, looking at the ambitions of what you hold for your long-held dreams in your future, where you want to go. And this is truly voicing something that you haven't quite allowed to come to the surface. And remember, your vulnerability is your greatest strength in this case. And we also happen to have some healing taking place this week as well, because you've got Mercury, our winged messenger. He is the planet of communication, and it just so happens that he's conjunct with Chiron. That is our wounded healer. Both of them are sitting in your 1st house. So it deals with your state of consciousness, your identity, your perspective, more importantly, your presence. So when the 3 of Pentacles comes in reverse like this is like where you've been feeling exhausted and then tempted to isolate, right? Where you've been straying away from conflict, where you've been feeling that disharmony or mediocrity, or even feeling unsatisfied in your relationships, especially in the foundation and with where you want them to go, because this is Capricorn energy again. This is your passions, your will, and your desires with Mars being here. With the solar plexus, it's caused you to really second guess yourself, right? It's caused you to really think about am I going to be received in a way that truly feels like I'm being cherished, if I'm being honored. And the conjunction between Mercury and Chiron happening and aligning at 27 degrees, which is focusing on your duality. It's also focusing on your 7th house, which I will say with Libra energy here with the moon, before it moves into Scorpio with this full moon, this is going to bring everything back to you. It deals with your dualities, your light and your shadow. It also deals with your presence in your relationships, and then also in your spirituality, your presence in your co-collaboration when it comes to your faith. So with this conjunction highlighting all of this energy between the full moon and the Grand Air Trine, this is where the healing truly becomes personal, but it also becomes direct. So Mercury governs your voice, your perception, right? And these came out 50-50, so we're going to talk about this. Chiron represents the wound and the wisdom that comes from your voice and your perception. And at 27 degrees, there's this sense of integration and completion, because it also reduces down to 9, right? So this is about making room for a new beginning through release, where something that you have carried about your identity or your self-expression begins to truly shift into a place of understanding and into a resonance of understanding. And if that resonates with you, let me know, put a heart in the comments below, because this, you may feel called to speak more openly about what you feel. You may feel called to acknowledge a part of yourself that has been quietly forming, or like this healing beneath the surface. You may even feel called to change the way that you communicate your truth entirely. Depends on how big of a shift you feel you need. This is not about perfection and expression. It's about authenticity, becoming stronger than your fears. And if that resonates, share your story, share your thoughts. Let me know what you're making room for. Because this, both of these coming out sideways here, right? So the Hierophant in the upright, this is like caring, not to put it in a way that feels negative, but it's like caring too much about what other people think and letting that drive your decisions, your expression, your voice, your choices. On the downswing, this is liberation from obedience, right? It's like through pursuit of individuality. It's non-traditional education through higher learning. And at 50-50, it's really embracing that change, right? And everything that comes with it. The feeling of instability, the challenge, the adjustments that are required, the adaptation, but most importantly, the healing that comes from change as well, because it opens a new door. And when you do that this week, especially with this full moon, so set your intentions about what you're ready to make room for. Because on the downswing, this is where it's like if you've been dealing with chaos or difficulties in your relationships or speaking your truth, this is basically where it's like you're hesitating. Your solar plexus is being blocked. And that's like knowing who you are, what you're made of, standing in your confidence, being that inspiration and action to walk through life, to stand in your truth and in your individuality. This is like feeling like you don't have control over that, right? Or you are so fearful of how it'll be received that you hesitate, because you're feeling like you're going to be received in a negative connotation. On the upright, when you stand in your truth, walk in your authenticity just as you are, and know that that is enough, because that's what your solar plexus is. It is embracing your perfections and your imperfections with the same love, because it allows you to stand in your truth. And that is what Mercury is truly going to be delivering to you this week. So pay attention to your dreams, the downloads that you receive, the direction that your intuition wants to guide you. Because that's where, when you open that energy flow, it also leads to abundance, right? It allows you to open up communications. It allows you to unrestrict your energy, unrestrict your flow, unrestrict the bonds that have been kind of stagnated, or that you have felt like you're not being met halfway. When it comes to your long-held dreams as well, with Pluto being in your 11th house, this opens a door to approach your goals, no matter who tries to tell you that they're too big. And if that resonates, let me know, because this, when you walk into your truth unapologetically, it allows you to stand in your stability. It allows you to claim your justice, stand in your personal power, reach for your success, but also receive and be open to receive your harvest. And I just got goosebumps. If you did too, let me know. Let me know how that impacts your life, because this week, Aries, these three movements are going to be working together. So this week, these three movements are going to be working together to align your mind, your emotions, and your sense of self. So that Grand Air Trine is going to be opening your awareness. The full moon is going to be deepening your emotional truth. And Mercury and Chiron is going to help give you that truth a voice, And through all of it, you are not becoming someone you knew. You're becoming someone more honest with who you already are. And that's what's going to open up that solar plexus energy. So if you've been feeling like it's stagnated or stuck, this is the time to let your feelings out. Let all of them out, even the ones that scare you, because they're your truth. And remember, I will say it again, your vulnerability is not your weakness. It is your strength. And to boot, it's your, I don't know why I said that, but either way, it's your greatest strength. And what Spirit is saying with the spirit animal totems here is it's time to light that inner fire. Oh, and tap into your unlimited potential. This is big. And at the bottom of the deck, hold your vision. Let it shine. Go after it. Don't hold yourself back. Don't let other people tell you that you're reaching too big, that you're dreaming too big, because the whole thing about life is to dream as big as your soul's direction truly wants to guide you. And if that resonates, let me know, because with the tiger, this is choosing to be unstoppable, right? Knowing that passion is your power. And when you're bold, when you're brave enough to truly go after it, that's when you have the universe meet you halfway. That's also when you tap into the unlimited possibilities that come when you stand in your truth, when you stand in your authenticity, and when you stand in your sovereignty. So by all means, this week, with these three elements coming together, the Grand Air Trine, the Scorpio full moon, and the Mercury Chiron conjunction, you're stepping into a place of completion. You're also stepping into a place of mastery. So hold your vision. Rise above the earthly matters. Glide through life. Embrace your path, because this is where this week is going to show you that when you're able to see your right path by standing tall, standing full in your self-worth and in your love, letting your heart guide you, this is where everything truly starts to expand. And if that resonates, let me know. And Pisces, this week, your inner world is going to be speaking louder than your outer one. So this week is going to move through the deeper layers of your emotional and your spiritual world in a way that truly asks you to pay attention to what is shifting beneath the surface. Because the Grand Air Trine, the Scorpio full moon, and Mercury Chiron conjunction, all three of these are activating different parts of your life, but they're all guiding you toward the same truth, which is that something within you is ready to be understood more clearly and held more consciously. And as the full moon moves into Libra, that's going to hit your 8th house, and it's going to activate that Grand Air Trine, where your emotional depth, your trust dynamics, and your energetic exchanges with others are going to begin to open new paths for you. So with Uranus and Venus currently stationed in Gemini in your 4th house, something within your emotional foundation, your home life, may feel like it's shifting or revealing unexpected insights right now, especially this week, especially with this Grand Air Trine amplifying the energy. You could notice sudden clarities about your past, your family patterns, or even the emotional spaces that have shaped your sense of safety. And if that resonates, let me know. Because this is where, with the 50-50 coming out with the Page of Wands, on the downswing, you're looking at where it's caused your creativity or innovation or your curiosity to be limited, right? Where you're afraid to explore, where you're seeing a lack of progress due to blockages within your creativity. And that's your sacral flow energy. So your sacral flow is really going to need to be healed this week, and Chiron's coming in to help. At the same time as well, on the upswing, this is where when you embrace your spirituality with enthusiasm, with adventure, where you start chasing those dreams faster than your fears can keep up, new avenues, new doorways start to open through new ideas, new projects, new plans, new messengers even to come into your life. And I say that because Pluto at the same time is going to be in your is in your 12th house. Pluto is in Aquarius right now. Pluto is working in the background of your psyche, bringing up subconscious material that is ready to be released or transformed. This is also your hidden talents, your hidden gifts, your intuition, and a revealing of hidden enemies, either internally or externally. So this Grand Air Trine is not necessarily loud for you, but what it is deeply revealing. Because Libra is in your 8th house of transformation. You've got Uranus and your heart's desires, Venus here talking, both in your 4th house, where you want to plant your roots. And Pluto is really elevating your subconscious, looking at those fears, looking at those hidden gifts. This is going to be very transformative for you. It's going to allow your inner world, your emotional roots, and your unconscious patterns to truly speak to each other in a way that brings clarity through reflection rather than force. And if that resonates, let me know. Because this is where it's like you're looking at your compassion, especially your compassion for your transformation, for your energetic exchanges, for where you entangle your energy spiritually, physically, materially. Where you're looking at too, like where you're ready to release with this Scorpio full moon, any type of past traumas, generational curses, because those are family patterns that are passed down, whatever you've inherited that's kept you back. And more importantly, that have been at a subconscious level for you. Because there's going to be realizations coming to the table, especially with the Mercury Chiron conjunction, that will help you heal these. And this is where you're looking at holding compassion for that healing for yourself, for those traumas, whatever has been a gateway to build your resilience and your strength. And you're utilizing them to turn that pain into passion this week. This is like your inner fire being lit. And more importantly, in a way that allows you to truly look up, look forward to your future, and anchor the sacred of you into the ordinary of your everyday life. And I say that because the full moon in Scorpio is going to be rising in your 9th house. That is your house of higher self-wisdom, your house of expansion, higher learning, even travel. And it happens that this full moon in Scorpio is not only going deep, it's elevating and activating your crown chakra in a way that brings you to mastery through perspective shifts, because it's aligning at 11 degrees. This is where you're looking at, with the 8 of Cups, you're looking at everything that has caused disappointment, that maybe has pulled a veil over your eyes, that's caused instability. And now, as you defend your status, right, you're wandering, your travel along the way, seeking new options, new opportunities, your perspective begins to shift, because you only know what you don't know, or you only know what you do know, right? You don't know what you never explored. And when this perspective shifts, opens your eyes in a profound way with this full moon, with this number 11 alignment, numerologically speaking, it carries that spiritual awareness and intuitive expansion. And it hits your 9th house in a beautiful way. It brings illumination around your beliefs, your direction. You're looking up, right? You're going on a journey, and it's a soul-searching journey that is going to open your future to a whole new world and a brighter horizon that you have been able to see up until now. And it's making room for it. So set your intentions on what you're ready to release, whatever has been limiting your beliefs, whatever's been holding you back. Because this full moon in Scorpio is illuminating your understanding of what gives your life meaning. And if that resonates, let me know, because both of these also came out 50-50. You're at the pinnacle of a transformation. And with this full moon, it's going to open your mind to a wider sense of possibility that you haven't imagined or experienced or explored yet. This is a moment for you guys that is truly beautiful, because it's a moment of emotional and philosophical awakening, where your inner truth begins to reshape the way that you see your path forward. It's not about rushing towards answers. It's about allowing your understanding of life to evolve naturally as your awareness expands. And if that resonates, let me know, because this is where it's like Spirit is saying it's time to embrace your divine feminine nature within you. And remember, we've got divine femininity, we've got divine masculinity within each and every one of us. This is where you're looking at those shadows, those limited beliefs. And on the downswing, this is where this full moon is really asking you to look at what you've been refusing to accept as an ending. What have you been holding on to that you know your intuition, your soul has been asking you to release, to make room? Where you've been resistant to change, where worry, disappointment has led your way to indulging in the past, but also causing a standstill for your movement going forward. Caused a block in your sacral flow. On the upswing, this is like out with the old, in with the new, the ending of a phase when you choose to lay down those burdens, to lighten that load so that you can walk into a start of a new phase. But it's going to happen through revelations, liberation, and also voluntary surrender so that you can truly be open to that rebirth. And if that resonates, let me know, because we've got Mercury conjunct with Chiron. This is our winged messenger. Your intuition's going to be speaking to you as your perspective expands. Chiron is our wounded healer. It just so happens that with them being in Aries, they are stationed in your second house right now. That is your self-worth, your value, also finances. And this conjunction between these two are aligning at 27 degrees. So it's looking at dualities, light and dark. It's looking at your faith with 7. It's also coming to completion when it reduces to 9 like this. So it's going to be bringing everything back to your sense of value, stability, and self-worth. This is where the healing for you guys truly becomes personal, but it also becomes tangible, because Mercury brings awareness to how you think, how you speak about your worth, while Chiron is revealing where old wounds or insecurities may still be shaping your relationship with your security and your stability. And on the downswing, this is where with the Queen of Wands, it's like, where have you been yielding to others due to a fear of confrontation, right? Where have you been dealing because you're allowing that energy to truly diminish yours, take your power, dim your light? It's opened the door to jealousy, to cheating, where people are not necessarily valuing you for as much as you truly deserve. And if that resonates, let me know. Chiron's coming in to reveal where these old wounds or insecurities may still be shaping your relationships, your relationship with your security and your stability as well. And at 27 degrees, this conjunction is truly opening a door, opening your eyes and expanding your horizons in a way that shows you that there's this strong energy of integration, where past experiences begin to transform into wisdom for you about what you truly need to feel grounded and what you truly need to feel supported. So in the upright, the Queen of Wands is like, when you feel supported, you begin to feel self-confidence rising within you, right? You start looking at your future, your horizons, where you want to go, what you want to learn, how you want to reach, where you rise to your mastery. Know that you're enough and that you've got everything within you needed to succeed. You start looking at it with optimism. You start thinking clearly because the past isn't impacting or influencing your discernment. And this is where that wisdom about what you truly need to feel grounded, what you truly need to feel supported, may open a door where you find yourself reassessing what you value or noticing where your inner dialogue around worth is truly ready to shift this week into something more compassionate and something more true that allows you to take action towards your dreams, follow your intuition without questioning it, but also walk towards your dreams with your will, but also ground them with your energy into the here and now, into your life. And if that resonates, let me know, because this is where it's like, it's a rebirth in how you carry yourself into your future. And I will also say, this week, Pisces, is truly where everything is moving toward this deeper self-understanding. And as it does, the Grand Air Trine is opening your subconscious and your emotional foundation. The full moon is expanding your beliefs and your perspective. And then Mercury, Chiron, their conjunction, both of them are healing the way that you relate to your value and stability. And through it, all of it, you are not becoming someone new. You are remembering how to live in alignment with what your inner world has been trying to tell you all along. So now is the time, truly, this week, especially with this Grand Air Trine, because it's all about the mind, right? It's time to clear your mental clutter, clear out the physical clutter as well. You will feel so much better when you do. So when you look at things with a brand new perspective with this Grand Air Trine, and then release what needs to be released under this full moon, and heal what needs to be healed, receive and open yourself to the intuition that Mercury conjunction happens to open with Chiron. This is where the magic truly unfolds for you this week. because this is the time to truly accept yourself in all the color that you have and that you embody. Feel confident about being you and know that it's enough. So you may want to do some solar plexus healing. There may be some blockages there. Let me know in the comments below. But this is where it's like, truly know that when you rise to the challenge, see your future in a different light and a new perspective, this is where your community comes in to not only nourish you, but to protect you. This is also where the magic of life happens, because you're embracing your transformation. So let go of the past with courage, right? Because when you realize just how brilliant you are, just how blessed you are, there is a future for you that is truly unfolding and awakening because you're standing in your true authenticity. So Aquarius, this week, your voice, your vision, and your future align. And I got goosebumps just by saying that. If you did too, let me know, because this is the week, Aquarius. It's going to activate your mind, your expression, and your sense of direction in a way that feels like different parts of you are finally starting to speak the same language. Because the Grand Air Trine, the Scorpio full moon, and the Mercury Chiron conjunction are all working through different areas of your life. But they're all guiding you at the same time toward one core realization. And that's that your voice, your identity, and your future are more connected than you may have been noticing, realizing, or acting on up until this point. And think back, because this full moon is truly looking at a 6-month cycle that is closing to open a new door for you. So as the moon moves into Libra, as we walk into this week, that's going to activate your 9th house. That is activating the Grand Air Trine as well. So your perspective truly begins to expand in a way that feels both inspiring and mentally awakening. And remember, we have Uranus and Venus both just moved into Gemini. They both just moved into your 5th house. That is your house of bliss, love, joy, creative expression. There is going to be a surge of creative energy for you, a surge of joy and self-expression that wants to move through you in a more authentic way, especially with your 9th house entangled with it, because that's your house of expansion, higher learning, travel, education, higher self-wisdom. It's opening a bright new horizon for you that allows you to see farther than you've been able to see up until this point. You may feel more inspired, more expressive, or more willing to take creative risks that reflect who you're truly becoming. And if that resonates, let me know. Put a heart in the comments below, because at the same time, Pluto's going to be in your 1st house. Pluto is in your sign, thinking about your future, thinking about innovation. Pluto is our planet of transformation. So being in your 1st house like this, he is continuing a deeper transformation about your identity, reshaping how you see yourself and how you show up in the world. And this Grand Air Trine is helping you truly create a foundation that integrates lessons, but more importantly, integrates what you value most into your life. So this is like articulating what brings you joy, love. This is like going after those ambitions with truth, with fairness, standing up and reaching for your personal justice, being a woman or a man, a king or a queen of action, and embodying your true what you water grows kind of energy when it comes to the Empress. This is Venus here speaking. And in Gemini energy, this is all about where whatever you have, like whatever your heart's desires are and what you value most in life, your voice is going to be truly expressing them in a brand new way. This is like opening yourself up and your life up to the beauty, the pleasures, the success, the material wealth, the love, the creativity that you have been yearning and craving. So, and that includes being present for each and every one of them. And if that resonates, let me know, because this Grand Air Trine creates a flow between your beliefs, your creativity, and your identity all at the same time. And it's allowing you to truly see new possibilities for your life that feel more aligned with who you are becoming rather than who you've been before. And especially with the full moon. And like I say, this is going to be a closure for the last 6-month cycle that we had when we had that Scorpio new moon. So think back to what's been going on for the last 6 months, because this full moon in Scorpio is going to be rising in your 10th house. That is your career. That is your honors and achievements. That is like how you're being seen. It's your visibility. And this full moon is going to be aligning at 11 degrees. That is our degree of mastery. So your outer world is coming into focus in a brand new way that allows you to close out a cycle and walk towards change. Especially if you've been dealing with, like I say, with your career, with your purpose, with your visibility. If you've been like trying to show up and show out in this world and you've been received with chaos, encountering disputes, envy, lack of unity, competition, we're looking at where you've been refusing to accept an ending, where you've been experiencing disappointment, where you've been resistant to change, where you've even felt stagnant or at a standstill. And this full moon at 11 degrees, carrying that intuitive clarity and awakening energy, highlighting your 10th house of career, your direction, the role you're stepping into the world as. Something may be coming into a full awareness around your path, your responsibilities, or even your long-term goals. And it's showing you where you're growing and where something may be ready to shift in your life. Let me know in the comments below, because this is a moment of visibility and all of these kind of came in reverse. So let's talk about them. Because as you release, as you surrender, as you open yourself to that change, it opens a brand new potential, opportunity, doorway, and visibility where you can see something much clearer, about what your life is asking of you and how your current direction is going to align you to a deeper emotional truth. It is not just about achievement. It is about alignment between what you do and who you're becoming. And we also have Mercury and Chiron coming in to give you that intuition and your enlightenment for guiding you, and also to help heal you. And both of these two, Mercury and Chiron, are in Aries. So that is the first sign of the Zodiac. This is the breath of a new beginning, a new direction. They are stationed in your 3rd house. So whatever has silenced your voice, caused you to dim your light about how you show up in the world. Because 3rd house is like your communication, your thoughts. Also, in a business kind of interpretation, it's your brand. It's what you want to be known for, where your reputation precedes you. These two are conjunct this week at 27 degrees. So it's got this, it carries this degree of dualities, of faith, of spirituality, and also of completions. This conjunction is going to bring everything into your voice, your thoughts, and your communication, where healing becomes mental, emotional, and also expressive, all at once. And with your career really being highlighted, your purpose, your direction, your visibility, it's looking at where you've been working too hard or not working hard enough, where, more importantly, you feel burnt out, where you feel like your vitality is being drained. Let me know if that resonates, because what this draining has been doing, where your energy has felt drained, it's led you to feel unfocused in your direction about how to truly anchor your faith into your day-to-day, into your reality, how it's affected your partnerships, right? Where your relationships, you may have been going through a breakup. You may have been going through uncertainty, where there's like this lack of commitment. The bonds haven't felt deep, right? You could have even been going through a betrayal, and I'm sorry in advance for that. This is painful energy because it's made you feel unsupported. This is where the conjunction between Mercury and Chiron is going to be coming in to bring awareness to how you speak, how you think, and how you process your experiences through all of this that has led disharmony and led your heart chakra to be blocked. Also, too, Chiron is going to be revealing where old wounds may have even shaped your confidence in your voice, caused you to be silenced, or even shaped your ability to express yourself fully, where you don't feel received or supported in that light. Because we've got the heart chakra, we've got 3 heart chakras coming in reverse. That is truly about not feeling supported in your life. It's affected your foundations, it's affected your harmony, It's also affected how you're able to integrate your true voice in this world. It's caused you to shrink back. This is also true in a lot of ways with the Four of Cups. With this full moon helping you to release that energy, Chiron helping you to heal that energy. It's going to help you with moving on from past hurts and focusing as you regenerate to emerge and to build new relationships with compassion that hold deeper bonds. And if that resonates, let me know, because as you find your voice again, as you learn to express your bliss, your love, your joy, yourself more fully, at 27 degrees with the conjunction between Mercury and Chiron, there's going to be this strong sense of integration where past experiences truly begin to transform into wisdom for you instead of hold you back. This is where the integration comes in. So where it's caused you in the past to feel depressed, dissatisfied, empty, like something is missing, right? Even lonely. This integration, as you start to truly release that energy and open yourself back up to who you're meant to be, it's going to help you in a lot of ways to not only integrate and transform that pain into passion, into wisdom, but also know how to no longer silence your truth and to find your voice in how you communicate that. So you may find yourself expressing something more honestly than you have before. You may even be noticing where your inner dialogue, your thoughts, are ready to truly soften and hold more compassion for you, become more supportive for you, right? And this is where Neptune is coming in. So with the Hangman in reverse, this is like false spirituality, right? Where you're neglecting your spiritual development because that despair has made you feel like you're almost being persecuted for voicing your spiritual development. Now is the time to rise up. You guys are the future forward thinkers. You're also what brings everybody together through win-win solutions, through collective solutions, through innovations. This is opening up your intuition this week in a brand new way that gets you out of this area of feeling like you're the martyr for everyone. So the way that I like to look at it, what I'm really getting the most out of these cards is like, if someone is trying to be gaslighting you or using you as the scapegoat, this is the week where you truly are reminded of your personal power and you remind them of just how much accountability each and every one of us need to take. So you're basically voicing your truth in a way where you're like, hey, I'm not the cause of your issues, right? And I'm saying that in a loving way, in a compassionate way. It's more of like, I'm no longer willing to carry the burdens, do the work for you. That is your accountability, and I'm accountable for mine. And if that resonates, let me know, because this week it is about staying present and looking at where you're giving your power away, because this is the week with this full moon, in particular with Scorpio. You're going to be going deep. And this is where the Scorpio moon is saying, stop giving your power away right now. And if that resonates, let me know. It's time to stay present, because that's where life happens. So release what has caused you to dim that light, make you feel like you have to silence your voice, because you guys are what are leading us, especially with Pluto in your sign. That is our planet of transformation that tears down structures that only support 1% and instead opens us to a whole brand new collective transformation where everybody benefits. You guys have a big role that is playing out here while Pluto is in your sign. Think back to the age of Aquarius, back to late 60s. That is the type of energy that we're all walking into in this great awakening during this time. And you guys are leading the charge. No pressure. But this week, Aquarius, everything for you is going to be aligning your inner world with your outer direction. The Grand Air Trine is going to be expanding your vision and your creativity. The full moon is going to be bringing clarity to your purpose and your public path, where you're truly being asked to step out into the light. And the Mercury-Chiron conjunction is going to be healing and reshaping your voice in a way where it's previously felt silenced. And through all of it, this is the week where you're not trying to become someone new. You're learning how to express who you already are in a way that the world can finally recognize. And this is where Spirit is saying you're the revealer of truth this week for the world. Don't take things too serious, right? Great wisdom always comes from laughing at your own folly, and also through those lessons, it helps teach you along the way to look out for the tricks and the traps and learn from them rather than let them define your future. And if that resonates, let me know. Because with the snow leopard, you're stepping into a place of self-reliance, right? Knowing how strong, how independent you are, knowing that your integrity is what leads you to the best incomes and outcomes. But income, especially with the moon in Libra, I get it. Because that is Venus rules Libra energy. She rules money, love. She's our Renaissance woman. So it's like the pleasures in life, the contentments in life. This is where, though, as you embrace your intuition and let it guide you, your life will start to unfold in the silent perfection that your future truly holds. And if that resonates, let me know. Capricorns, this week, your path, your people, and your foundation are realigning for you. So this week is going to move through your life in a way that connects your direction, your daily rhythm, and your sense of emotional foundation, your sense of belonging, safety, security. And all of it is asking you, this week is asking you to notice where realignment is already happening beneath the surface. Because the Grand Air Trine, the Scorpio full moon, and the Mercury Chiron conjunction are all activating different areas of your chart, but they're all still guiding you toward the same realization, which is that the way you live, the way you work, and the way you feel supported are all beginning to shift into a new kind of alignment for you. And if that resonates, let me know. Because as the moon moves into Libra this week, this is going to be activating your 10th house. And the Grand Air Trine is going to be amplifying that. Your 10th house is your career, it is your visibility, it is your honors, it is your achievements in life. And look at this realignment. This is transformation. We're going to get into this much deeper, but it's seeing through the decoys that really cause that 5 of Cups energy so that you can stand in your truth and truly transform. Just as a quick synopsis, we'll get into this. So this is where, with that Libra moon in your 10th house, the Grand Air Trine is going to activate your attention, right? And it's going to turn your attention towards your path, your purpose, and your direction of life. We also just had Uranus and Venus change signs and move into Gemini. And when they did, they activated your 6th house. That is your daily routines, your work environment, your habits. All of them are undergoing a subtle but meaningful change right now because you've got your Great Awakener planet, your breakthrough planet, electric breakthrough planet, by the way, entangled with your heart's desires. So you may notice new ideas about how you want to structure your time, your energy, what kind of work actually feels aligned with your energy. And at the same time, with this Grand Air Trine activating, Pluto, our planet of transformation, is in your 2nd house. That is your finances, your self-worth, your value. Pluto is transforming your relationship with value, stability, and self-worth all at the same time as well. And this is where Pluto is showing you where your foundation is truly evolving and where your sense of security is being rebuilt from the inside out. And if that resonates, let me know, because with the Knight of Pentacles, with Taurus energy as well, this is the sun talking. You're looking at what you value most in life and you're taking action towards it in this realignment. This is like going towards what you value most with responsibility, with rationality, being methodical about your financial security, being resourceful when it comes to your time and your energy, your money, and also your work, and knowing where to conserve all of that as well. Your time, your money, your energy, all your resources. And again, you're letting your heart lead the way. So with this Grand Air Trine, it's creating a flow between your work, your purpose, and your values. This is a good place to be for you guys. You're going to feel this energy this week, and it's helping you see that the way that you live your everyday life is directly shaping the future that you're stepping into, and it's helping you see through the decoys, through the shadows, through the fantasy, the delusions, the befuddlements, you're getting tapped in a way where if you've got choices, which is always a good thing, you're seeing through which ones are for you and which ones are not. Which ones hold snakes, which ones hold shadows, and which ones truly hold a future that aligns with your truth. And if that resonates, let me know, because this is where your intuition is going to guide you. The 7 is a personal challenge, but it's also embracing through surrender the hidden wisdoms that your intuition, your soul, and your spirituality are all guiding you towards, that leads you towards a true alignment with the strength of a foundation that's built to last. And with that full moon happening in Scorpio, we are also closing out a 6-month cycle. So think back to the last 6 months. What's been causing this type of energy with the 5 of Cups, right? So we have Scorpio energy right here. So we're going deep when it comes to Mars's alignment, your passions, your will, your drive. Where have you been? Where has your passions, what in your passions, about what you did do, what you didn't do, has actually found a need for release when you go deep on this energy? Because the full moon is about a completion. It happens to be happening or aligning in your 11th house. And for you guys, it's particularly special because it's aligning at 11 degrees. So your 11th house is your community, your sense of belonging, your sense of connection, your long-held dreams. What have you been going after that hasn't necessarily worked out, hasn't made you feel like you're aligned in the right way, that you've got this fulfillment happening with a sense of belonging, where grief has led the way, where despair, where you've hesitated and now there's regret that's leading the way. This full moon is bringing you into the present, where you can cherish the present, because that's where life happens, right? And at 11 degrees, your sense of connection to others and your future vision is coming into crystal clear focus. And if that resonates, let me know, because as we walk into that energy, your truth is becoming your foundation. This is your sign. This is Sagittarius energy. This is opening up a stable foundation for you where it is unshakable, where this can no longer rock your world, hold you back, right? So the number 11 carries this awakening and intuitive clarity within its resonance. And in your 11th house like this, it highlights your community, right? It highlights your long-term goals and the people who are aligned with your growth and who are not. We got the 7 of Cups here, right? This is big energy that is being freed and liberated and closed out for you. So you may begin to see more clearly with this full moon happening, which connections truly support you and support your evolution, and which ones feel like they no longer align with where you're headed. And if that resonates, let me know, because this can bring emotional clarity around a dream or a future goal that you've had, that you've been holding on to, that's been calling your name, your soul, for a long time. And it's revealing what truly matters to you, especially with Taurian energy, with the sun right now in Taurus season. And this is where what truly matters to you comes to you when you align your direction with your sense of belonging. And if that resonates, let me know, because this is going to be a moment of understanding under this full moon about what you're moving toward and who's meant to move with you. And we've got Mercury and Chiron helping align you as well. So Mercury is your winged messenger, right? Chiron is your wounded healer. Both of them are in Aries in this new cycle. They're the first sign of the Zodiac. And they're also stationed in your 4th house. That is your home, your roots, your family, your sense of safety and security. And they are conjunct this week at 27 degrees. So it holds dualities, it holds faith, co-collaboration. It also holds this energy and resonance of completion. So this conjunction between these two are bringing everything back to your inner world and your emotional foundation. There is something happening with this closure of the full moon and then this conjunction right after, where healing becomes personal and deeply rooted for you. This is where it's like you're starting to look at like the plans for your future, and you're making pragmatic plans, right? You're looking at your resources. You're also looking at your drive, where you're reaching towards your truth, how you're generating prosperity, how you're generating your legacy, your wealth. This is where transformation is going to truly start happening. And we've got Scorpio energy here. So this is the time to truly go deep. And with this conjunction between Mercury and Chiron happening at 27 degrees, no less, this is where Mercury brings awareness to your thoughts, your memories, and your internal dialogue around home, family, and emotional safety. And at the same time, Chiron is going to be revealing what needs to be released. This is transformation, but it's also liberation. So Chiron is going to be revealing where old patterns or old wounds may still be influencing how you feel supported or how you feel grounded in your day-to-day life. And at 27 degrees, there is this strong sense of integration that is happening for you this week, where past experiences begin to transform into understanding and emotional maturity. You may find yourself processing something from your past in a brand new way this week, as you enter a brand new cycle, in with the old, in with the new, out with the old, as I always like to say. You may also be recognizing where your inner foundation is ready to shift into something more stable, honest, and self-supported because of it. This is going to be a beautiful rebirth for you, and it's going to feel like you're rising from the ashes when it comes to old family patterns, old family ties, past life traumas, generational curses even as well. Let me know what resonates for you. And you're holding a more compassionate lens, and you're opening the heart chakra in a way that lets your foundations truly feel supported and aligned with the universe and the people who are walking with you as you build your legacy. So this is going to be a week where you completely reposition yourself. And I will say it again, as you do that, your path, your people, and your foundation will also begin to realign for you. This is the week, Capricorns. Truly, this is the week where everything is working together to realign your outer direction with your inner stability. That Grand Air Trine is going to be refining your work and your purpose. The full moon is going to be clarifying your future vision and your connections at the same time. And Mercury and Chiron is going to, that conjunction is going to be healing your emotional foundation in a very big way. So this is the time, through all of it, to remember that you're not rebuilding life from scratch. You're refining it so that it finally reflects the strength, the awareness, and the clarity you have been developing all along. This is the time to listen to your body and do what it is asking of you, because that's where it's been manifesting. This entanglement, this transformation has all been entangling for you. And this is also where your courage, your assertiveness is truly going to begin to shine. And you're not walking this path alone. The universe is walking with you. So now is the time to truly pay attention to the signs. Get out there and ground your energy. Whatever you're doing with the full moon, with ritual-wise, now is the time to truly be open to the signs. Because it's going to open you up to a whole new way of innovating. As you come home, realign everything within your inner world and your outer world at the same time. And who's walking with you in your future. So this is the time in silence to find your power, claim your leadership, and more importantly, take action without hesitation, because you know where to go. You know what to do. Now is the time to listen, and it's going to come and manifest in ways through the body, right? This is also where it's going to manifest in the signs around you. So now is the time to truly open your greater vision. Focus on your priorities, eliminate those distractions, let yourself ascend, and also to decide on what you truly want, what you really want, because you have the ingenuity to claim it. Let me know what's coming through for you in this week, because your integrity is what's going to realign all of your energy and your future legacy. Sagittarius, this week your connections, your voice, and your inner world are aligning. So this week is going to move through your relationships, your mind, and your inner emotional landscape in a way that asks you to notice how deeply everything is connected. Because the Grand Air Trine, the Scorpio full moon, and the Mercury Chiron conjunction are all activating different layers of your experience. But they are all also at the same time pointing you toward the same realization, which is that your connections, your self-expression, and your subconscious truth are all reshaping the direction of your life in subtle but very powerful ways. And if that resonates, let me know. Because look, I mean, we're going to talk about this, but look at what flew out here. So this week, we've got a lot of air energy with this Grand Air Trine being amplified. For you guys, as the moon moves into Libra, it's going to move into your second house. And it activates the Grand Air Trine in a way where your attention turns toward community, connection, and the future that you're building. And remember, we just had Uranus and Venus both move into Gemini. They moved into your 7th house at the same time. So we've got our Great Awakener planet, our Heart's Desires planet, activating your house of partnerships. So relationships become a source of surprise, inspiration, and awakening for you that is very profound and very prolific. And your 11th house is also your social networks. This is your sense of belonging, your community. This is going to be big for you. It's very social. So with Uranus and Venus being in your 7th house, with this Grand Air Trine activation, this is where people may reflect back new possibilities for who you're becoming and how you relate. And if that resonates, let me know. Because you're looking kind of back at the past. You're looking at the simple pleasures that truly light you up. You're looking at the shadows as well. And seeing, more importantly, how the past has held influence on your present. And you're looking at what needs to come back into balance, what needs to realign for you once again. And at the same time, Pluto's going to be helping you transform this because Pluto is in your 3rd house. This is big. Your 3rd house is your communication. This is a very social Grand Air Trine for you. So your 3rd house is your communication, your thoughts, also like kind of like your PR, like how you show up and show out in the world. And with Pluto being our planet of transformation, who wears his heart on his sleeve, who breaks down structures that only support 1% and instead thinks about, especially in Aquarius energy, the collective rising together. This is where that 3rd house activation is going to be transforming the way that you speak, the way that you think, and the way that you process information. And at the same time, it's going to be deepening your awareness of how your mindset is truly shaping your reality. And if that resonates, let me know, because this is where you're now finding an attunement, a balance to your light and to your shadow, to your conscious and to your subconscious, and learning to trust your intuition again. This is like awakening to the unrevealed future. And some of you may be becoming a spiritual teacher as well. And I say that because as this Grand Air Trine creates this flow of energy between your social world, your relationships, and your thoughts, allowing insights to move more quickly and naturally through your conversations, your ideas, and your interactions in a way that truly feels meaningful and synchronistic, pay attention to the signs. Because the full moon in Scorpio is going to be rising in your 12th house. That is your house of subconscious. It's your house of hidden talents, your house of intuition, also hidden enemies. And it just so happens that this full moon is completing out a 6-month cycle. So think back for the last 6 months about what's been suppressed, what's been hidden, because things are coming to a point of closure, like completion and closure, integration, but also a point of revealing or revealment. There we go. And it happens to be aligned at 11 degrees. So this is like where your inner world becomes the focal point. And with the number 11 carrying that resonance of intuitive awakening and subconscious awareness, in your 12th house, this full moon in Scorpio is going to be bringing illumination to what has been hidden, what has been unprocessed over the last 6 months, or what has been quietly influencing you beneath the surface. And if that resonates, let me know, because this full moon will feel like emotional clarity arriving to you through your dreams, through your intuition, or even through a sudden inner knowing. So trust your gut, follow and listen to your intuition, because something is being revealed that you've been carrying very privately. With the 9 of Wands in reverse, it's something you've been carrying privately about, like where you feel like you're losing your inner fire, where you've been facing adversity, feeling depleted, feeling discouraged, where you've been feeling like you're losing energy and it's causing you to overreact, react rather than respond. This is the time to truly release what needs to be released under this full moon. So set your intentions about what's been making you feel this energy. Because with the Six of Wands in reverse, this energy has been blocking your solar plexus. It's been dimming your light. It's been dimming your confidence. This is where it's like you may have been experiencing even like temporary hiccup. I don't know why I said that twice. Temporary hiccups, I guess. But also temporary success, where you feel like where you truly want to go, your untapped potential has really struggled to be unleashed, to be opened for you. And if that resonates, let me know, because this full moon is going to be a moment of release where you begin to understand what needs to be let go of so that you can move forward with more emotional clarity and spiritual lightness. So release the load, because this full moon is not asking you to act. It's asking you to feel. It's asking you to release. And it's asking you to trust what is surfacing from within you, what is rising, especially with the Three of Cups in reverse. And with this being such a social week for you guys, with your 11th house being activated, also too with your 12th house and your 7th house all being activated, and your 3rd house being activated. And I say that because you know, your 3rd, your 7th, and your 11th house are the most social houses. And then now you've got your subconscious really looking at how that has impacted you, and you're out like on the internal, and then also how it's impacted you on the external. So this is going to be big. So you're looking at where you felt rejected, where you felt too much of an inclination to care about what other people think when it comes to your discernment, your decisions, and your action, your voice, where betrayal has even caused you to dim your light or close off your throat, close off your voice altogether, right? Don't worry, is all I got to say, because Mercury is going to be conjunct with Chiron in Aries, entering a new cycle throughout the signs of the Zodiac, throughout the flow of the Zodiac. And these two are conjunct in your 5th house. That is your winged messenger, your intuition, your thoughts, meeting your wounded healer in your 5th house of bliss. So where is all of this cause you to dim your light when it comes to living your life to its fullest, receiving love, living your life with joy each and every day, each and every moment? And this conjunction is going to be healing some wounds about how you express your heart. And they are aligned at 27 degrees. So it's all about dualities. Again, it's about partnerships. It's all about your co-creation and your faith, your spirituality. This conjunction is going to be activating everything when it comes to your voice, your creativity, and your self-expression. This is where healing becomes expressive and heartfelt for you, because Mercury brings awareness to how you share your ideas, your joy, your authentic voice, where you've been now activated in a way where you can challenge authority, right? You can stand up, even if it, like, against prejudices, against things that were unjust, against where there's been a lack of discretion, where your foundations have felt unstable, unsecure. Also, too, I will say, this has some past energy involved with it as well, because Chiron is going to be revealing where past experiences have also shaped hesitation or vulnerability around expressing yourself fully. And if that resonates, let me know, because this is where you are going to be standing in your truth. You are walking towards your truth without letting that throat chakra be diminished. Also, too, without letting your solar plexus, your light, being dimmed. And at 27 degrees, there's this strong energy of integration, where old patterns begin to transform into wisdom about how you create, how you speak, how you express yourself with more confidence and more emotional truth and more authenticity. So you may feel truly called this week to share something personal, something creative, something even heartfelt in a way that feels both healing and freeing. So now is the time to truly release, clear out the mental clutter and the physical clutter. You will feel so much better, and when you do, that's when your expression truly has the ability to rise unleashed in a beautiful way. And if that resonates, let me know, because this week, Sagittarius, everything is working together for you to align your outer connections and your inner truth. The Grand Trine is truly expanding your relationships and thinking. The full moon is clearing emotional weight from your subconscious. And Mercury and Chiron, their conjunction is healing your self-expression and creativity. And through all of it, you are not losing your direction. You are becoming more aware of the truth that has been guiding you all along. And it is time to truly learn to play and to learn to sing your wild song, right? This is being happy and living, swimming through life with all the confidence that you are meant to hold when your solar plexus is wide open and when your future is truly embraced. This is diving into your inner wisdom. This is going with the flow. This is inhaling confidence and exhaling fear. And this is where, this week, your connections, your voice, and your inner world are all aligning and getting you back into your true flow. And if that resonates, let me know. Scorpios, so this week you step into the truth that you've been becoming. So this week is going to move through your subconscious, your emotional depth, and your sense of identity in a way that feels both revealing and transformative. As if different parts of your life are finally starting to come into alignment because the Grand Air Trine, the Scorpio full moon in your sign, and the Mercury-Chiron conjunction are all going to be activating different layers of your experience, but they are all They are all guiding you toward the same realization, which is that what has been building within you is now ready to be seen, to be felt, and to be embodied more fully. I mean, this is wishes do come true energy. You're valuing what you hold most dear in life. And as the moon moves into Libra, as we begin the week, it's moving into your 12th house. This is your subconscious. This is your hidden talents, your hidden gifts, your intuition. And it also is revealing some hidden enemies. So this is going to be transformative for you in a very big way. And when the moon moves into Libra this weekend into your 12th house, this is where the Grand Air Trine truly activates for you. Your inner world becomes highly active and quietly very insightful. We also just had Uranus and Venus move into Gemini. They also moved into your 8th house of transformation. So there are emotional shifts unfolding around trust, intimacy, and energetic exchange for you. And this activation between your Great Awakener planet and your Heart's Desires planet may bring sudden clarity or deeper awareness for you about what you are carrying within your relationships or within yourself. And if that resonates, let me know. Because at the same time, Pluto, which is in Aquarius, our planet of transformation, this is activating your 4th house. Pluto is transforming your emotional foundation, your sense of inner security. Pluto is reshaping how you relate your past or relate to your past and what you need now in order to feel grounded. So this Grand Air Trine is creating this beautiful flow between your subconscious, your emotional bonds, and your inner stability in a way that allows insight to truly rise gently but powerfully from beneath the surface for you. And it is allowing to illuminate things about what you hold most dear, what needs to be adapted, integrated, about what you value most in life, and where you need to take action. So with the Page of Pentacles, this is like doing the work kind of energy, right? New skills, new opportunity, new employment, but also pursuing them with inspired action. And when you do, you open a door towards new, like good news about money, career, education, or home. And if that resonates, let me know, because Spirit is saying this week is the week. I mean, look at this. We've got 3 9s. What? And it's opening your untapped, unlimited potential with the 8. This is big energy. I just got chills. If you did too, let me know, because with the full moon in your sign, no less, it's going to be rising in your 1st house. This is your presence. This is your identity, your state of consciousness, your vitality, your material success. Spirit is saying this week, when you go after your dreams, Jupiter is here to bless them. This full moon is here to bless them as well. And I say that because this full moon in Scorpio is going to be rising and illuminating at 11 degrees of mastery. So everything is going to come into focus for you. And the resonance of 11 truly carries this resonance of awakening, intuition, and spiritual alignment. And when it's in your first house like this is your full moon. And the last 6 months cycle that we've gone through since the Scorpio new moon, there is something that is coming to completion for you. It's going to be highlighting your identity, your presence, the way you're stepping into yourself. And now comes the moment where your visibility is being seen and something within you is truly becoming undeniable. And if that resonates, let me know. Share your story, share your thoughts, put a heart in the comments below, because you may feel more aware of who you're becoming, or even noticing that you're no longer willing to hide certain parts of yourself in the same way that you used to. This 6-month cycle that's coming to a completion is opening your world to your abundance, to your happiness, to how you achieve your goals, how you voice your goals, your dreams, what you value most, your heart's desires. And the battle, when you stand in your truth, I just want to put it is awakening your tenacity. It is awakening your moxie. It is awakening what you've been guarding, what you felt you need to defend. Let the moon illuminate what it is in your sacral flow that will allow your pains to be turned into passion, and then taking it one step further to turn into your true profit. Because this is big. You've got your first house being activated. You've got your 12th house, your 8th house being activated, and your 4th house. So it's got a lot to do about those passions becoming your true profit in life, that makes you feel your true support system, that makes you feel safe, secure, rooted, grounded. So this is going to be a big week for you guys in the way where this full moon is not just going to be emotional. It's going to be personal. It's going to hit you deeply. It is a reflection of your evolution, and it's asking you to embody the truth that you've been quietly growing into. And this full moon is where you reach a point of success, prosperity, completions, self-direction, independence, inner peace, and also discipline when it comes to grounding, anchoring that sacred of you into your ordinary and truly going after your heart's desires. This is Venus here. This is integrating all of the end of what is coming to completions, what needs to be released so that you can truly shine in your truth. And I will also say, because you're tapping into your unlimited potential, your untapped potential as well, we've got Mercury helping and Chiron helping. And I say that because both of these two are in your 6th house. They are in Aries energy. That is the breath of something brand new happening in your day-to-day life. Mercury is your winged messenger. Chiron is your wounded healer. And this conjunction, these two are aligning at 27 degrees. So this is where it brings everything, your wishes, your dreams that are meant to come true and be anchored into your reality. This is where everything is brought into who you're becoming, into your daily life, your habits, your sense of well-being. And if that resonates, let me know. Put a heart in the comments below, because I just got chills. My ear is ringing, and this is where healing truly becomes practical and embodied for you. And you start stepping into your strength. This is harmony for your vision. This is the courage to go after it. This is the personal power that allows you to be indomitable. And you're not going it alone. You are supported. So Mercury is going to be bringing awareness to how you think about your routines, your responsibilities, and your body. So listen to your body during this week as well. Chiron, at the same time, is going to be revealing where stress, overextension, or even old patterns may have affected your sense of balance or even your self-care. And at 27 degrees, there's this strong integration point that is happening for you this week where insight becomes action and awareness becomes a new way of caring for yourself. So you may begin to adjust how you structure your time or how you support your energy in a way that feels more sustainable and more aligned, especially as you step into your personal power. So it's kind of just saying, kind of energy that this fell out. And if this resonates with you, if this gives you a chuckle too, let me know, because Spirit is saying check in with your body, release any tension that you're carrying, because now is the time to release with this closure of this full moon any type of guilt, but release it with compassion, right? Remember, guilt is a normal feeling about what you did do, what you didn't do, what you have been resistant to change on, what you're now ready to embrace, especially as things rise up from your 12th house. Breathe in, let it go, let it flow, because you've got a brand new beginning and a brand new 6-month cycle that you're going to be walking into. And this week, Scorpio, is where everything is working together to align your inner world with your outer expression. That Grand Air Trine is going to open your subconscious awareness. The full moon in your sign is going to bring your identity into full light. And Mercury and Chiron, their conjunction is going to be grounding your healing into your daily life through action. And you've got everything within you. You've done the work. This is big energy for you. Through all of it, you are not becoming someone you knew, or someone new, I should say. You're finally becoming and allowing yourself to be seen as who you have been becoming all along. And this is where Spirit is saying you've got everything within you. The squirrel is about being the expert of hard work and about being the expert of hard play. This is also about not letting life's distractions take you off course. So make that plan for your future and know with your faith, with your intuition leading the way, whatever is rising up from the 12th house is truly revealing that life, when you are in alignment and standing in your authenticity, being present in the here and now, in today, life will give you all that you need as you flow and flow freely in your truth. And if that resonates, let me know. Libra, this week, you see yourself through new eyes. So this week is going to move through your identity, your beliefs, and your relationships in a way that feels like you're finally stepping into a clearer version of yourself. One that is shaped by awareness rather than expectation. Because the Grand Air Trine, the Scorpio full moon, and the Mercury Chiron conjunction are all activating different parts of your experience. But they are all guiding you toward the same realization, which is that the way that you see yourself, the way that you relate, you relate to others, and the way that you value yourself are all undergoing a meaningful shift right now. And it's going to open up a door of an epiphany for you in a very big way. So as you can see, and at the bottom of the deck, take a peek at this. We're going to talk about that energy. I was just called to look and I was called to grab. So this is where, as the moon moves into your first house, into your sign, and activates that Grand Air Trine, you're going to become the center of your own awareness with this Grand Air Trine this week. And keep in mind too, we just had Uranus and Venus both move to Gemini, your sister air sign, and activate your 9th house of expansion, your higher self-wisdom, higher learning, travel. This is big. You're walking into a sense of awareness in your presence, into a higher timeline, and there is something here between Uranus, the moon, and Venus, where there is an expansion happening in your beliefs, your perspective, your direction, and your understanding of what is possible for your life. And if that resonates, let me know, because you've got options. But this is where it came out 50-50. So in the past, actually looking at the upright first here, this is where it's like you've had so many options, it's caused you to lose a sense of direction, right? So this is also where it's like there's been decoys along the way. There's been befuddlements where you've felt like you're taking one step forward and 2 steps backwards. There's been snakes in the grass, as I like to say. There's been shadows where rocks have been thrown and then hands have been hidden. But this 7 of Cups also reveals through all of this the journey of knowing what you want and what you don't want. More importantly, what your heart's desires are and what really aren't aligned with you. So in that mindset, in this awakening, This Grand Air Trine is truly going to reveal something profound and prolific for you. You may feel more open, more inspired, more willing to step into ideas and paths that once felt out of reach. And at the same time, Pluto happens to be in your 5th house. This is big. This is your house of love, bliss, joy, creative expression. This is opening up a transformation that aligns you in the right direction, puts realistic expectations out on the table rather than superficial ones. This also is where you were once delayed of movement. Now you're seeing that delay manifest into gratification because you're embracing the hidden wisdom along this journey. And I'm just going to spread these out here. Look at what's unfolding for you guys this week. This is judgment. This is Pluto transforming your life in a very big way with this Grand Air Trine activation. So with Pluto in your 5th house in Aquarius, and that is future forward minded thinking, that is innovative, in your 5th house of bliss, as I like to say, Pluto is transforming your relationship with creativity, joy, self-expression. And he's helping you reconnect with what lights you up, right? With what feels authentic rather than feels expected. And this Grand Air Trine creates this powerful flow between your identity, your beliefs, and your self-expression. And it's allowing you to truly see yourself through a wider, more liberated lens than you've been able to see for quite some time. And keep in mind, with this week, we've got the full moon in Scorpio. There is something that is closing out a 6-month cycle. So think back over the last 6 months when we had that Scorpio new moon initiate a new challenge focused around your 2nd house. And that's your house of value, worth, finances. And Scorpio energy goes deep. It wants the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. And here's where this full moon for you guys is going to be an epiphany, especially with this Grand Air Trine awakening. And you're making a judgment call because you're stepping into your worth in a very big way. It's going to leave you feeling renewed. It's kind of in a lot of ways too, a spiritual realization that leads towards a transformation as well as a rebirth where you begin to truly trust in your worth, value your intuition, and let anything that was built on sand, that was built on rocky ground, that wasn't meant to stand in your life and your alignment, fall away to open a brand new space for true foundations to take their place. And if that resonates, let me know. So as the full moon basically rises in your 2nd house, it is going to be illuminating at 11 degrees. So you're stepping into an epiphany of mastery. This is going to be big for you, where your eyes truly open in a brand new way. So your relationship with value, stability, self-worth comes into focus under this full moon. And the number 11 carries the resonance of intuitive awareness and truth revelation. And in your 2nd house like this, it highlights what you believe you deserve and what you've been building and how you measure your sense of security. So let me know what that resonates for you, what that translates for you in your life, or just put a heart in the comments below if you can relate. Because something here is happening where you may become clear about your relationship with money, your relationship with resources, or even self-worth that reveals where you're growing and where you're being asked to release outdated definitions of value, where you've been selling yourself short. This is a sudden change that comes through surrender, but it's a surrender to realizing your true power. So this is, again, double confirmation, a sudden epiphany that is going to elevate your spiritual growth, and it's a new beginning of the next 6 months that opens for you that might feel like release or disruption, but it's going to bring everything into harmony for you, where you're going after your passions, what you deserve with Mars being here. You're looking at what you value most with this Taurus energy, and you're learning how to anchor it in the work that you do, and where you invest your time and your energy, how you hold that value, right? This is like not giving your power away. This is standing in your power in a very beautiful way because you've got everything within you needed to succeed, to rise, to reap your own harvest. This is you opening your eyes to a whole new potential of possibilities that all lie within you. So this full moon is not just about material awareness. It is about emotional honesty with yourself regarding what truly supports you and what no longer aligns with your growth. And as you can see with the Page of Wands, this is where you're headed. Again, it's an alignment to you, to your truth, to your authenticity, but to your spirituality. We've got 3 confirmations here in that way. And it's holding compassion for that divine light within you, letting that light shine, but letting it shine ground into your everyday world, into your garden with this Virgo energy here. This is Virgo, Leo, and Cancer energy. So, at the same time that all of this is happening, as this epiphany truly liberates you, as new projects and plans become action in your life, as you explore your creativity, fall back in love with living your life to its fullest, right? With what lights you up, and with your intuition and letting it guide the way. That conjunction between Mercury and Chiron, Mercury is your winged messenger. That is your thoughts, that is your intuition leading. Chiron is your wounded healer. These 2 are conjunct in Aries in your 7th house. So there is a fire being ignited in your house of partnerships and commitment, what you commit your time and energy to as well. And these 2 are conjunct at 27 degrees. So there's this essence of duality and also your faith and your partnerships, your commitment. This conjunction is bringing everything into your relationships where they become your soul mirrors, everything into your communication with others and your thoughts, how you listen to your intuition and let it guide you, how you surrender to your faith. So this is where healing truly becomes relational and conversational for you this week, because Mercury brings awareness to how you think, how you speak, and how you listen within your one-on-one connections in a lot of ways. And with Chiron revealing where old wounds or old patterns may have shaped how you relate, how you compromise, or how you express your truth in partnerships, at 27 degrees, you're coming to a place when it comes to your heart's desires with Venus here, into a place of growth, but also synergy between heart, brain, earth harmony and frequency alignment. And if that resonates, let me know, because at 27 degrees, it holds that 9 resonance where you're coming into a place of strong integration. This is where understanding begins to replace reaction, right? Communication becomes a pathway toward healing rather than tension. This is where you start looking around and you see like you're open to the beauty, the pleasure, the success, the material wealth, the love, the creativity that all of your 5th house is awakening you to at this time under that Grand Air Trine. And especially with this conjunction happening in Aries in your 7th house, you may find yourself having conversations this week that feel deeply clarifying. And you may also be noticing where honesty in relationships becomes necessary for growth and for your bonds to deepen. And just remember, like wherever you felt challenged or felt stagnated, this week is the week where Spirit is truly reminding you that no one said this whole life thing had to be a race. So it's okay to slow down. It's okay to step into that 5th house of bliss, right? To enjoy the stillness that comes from the beauty that surrounds you, so that you can truly open your eyes to the beauty that you hold within you as your horizons expand. Because Libra, this week, everything is working together to realign your identity with your beliefs, your worth, and your relationships. The Grand Air Trine is meant to expand your sense of self. The full moon is clarifying your values and your stability, your sense of safety. And the Mercury-Chiron conjunction is going to be healing the way that you connect with others in a very big way. And through all of it, you are not losing yourself. You are finally seeing yourself more clearly than you have in a long time. And if that resonates, let me know, because this is where you're starting to see just how beautiful you are. And I will say what I'm seeing is you absolutely are. So just saying. And if that resonates, let me know. Give yourself a hug right now, because you deserve it just for being here, just for being you. Now is the time to step into your nobility and celebrate your accomplishments, You are crowned and meant to be crowned with success. You are also not going this alone. Powerful forces are guiding you, are aiding you. You are protected right now. And your ability to conquer all of the challenges that you face are truly limited or limitless when you step into your true worth and when you start to truly see just how valuable your worth is. This is also too, like I say, this is being the master of finding life's flow. You are protected. Dive in. Perseverance is your superpower this week. Find that harmony in the rhythm of your life's flow. And as you do, your path will unfold. But more importantly, that perseverance is going to give you that moxie, everything that you need to succeed. And I will say it again, you are absolutely protected along this journey as your eyes open this week to see yourself in a brand new way and in a brand new light. And if that resonates, let me know. Virgos, this week is going to move through your sense of value, your direction in life, and the way you process and communicate your inner truth in a way that brings deeper alignment between who you are, what you do, and what you believe you deserve. So your voice, your work, and your worth are all coming into alignment this week because the Grand Air Trine, the Scorpio full moon, and the Mercury Chiron conjunction are all activating different layers of your experience, but they are all guiding you toward the same realization, which is that your voice, your work, and your emotional truth are all becoming connected in a way that they haven't been connected before. And if that resonates, let me know. Because as the moon moves into Libra, it is going to be moving into your second house. And as the moon moves into your second house, that is your house of self-worth, that is your house of value, that is your house of finances. And when the moon moves into Libra, it's going to activate this Grand Air Trine. Your attention is turning towards value, stability, and self-worth in a way that is absolutely turning the wheel in your favor. This is a turning point, but it's a turn for the better this week. Destiny always changes, right? This week, just as a spoiler alert, this Grand Air Trine activates your second house, your 10th house, and your 6th house. So that is your finances, your value, your worth, your career, and your day-to-day life. Something is transforming here in a very big way. And keep in mind, we just had Uranus and Venus change signs into Gemini, your sister sign ruled by Mercury, and move into your 10th house. So your career path, your public direction may begin to shift in unexpected but inspiring ways this week, opening new possibilities for how you express your skills and contribute to the world, how you're seen. This is the pinnacle of success. This is like cycles turning in a way where Jupiter blesses your direction forward. This is also where you're following your intuition. So be open to the signs, and we'll get into it because Mercury is playing a role this week as well. At the same time, under this Grand Trine, though, before we get there, Pluto in Aquarius, future-minded, forward-thinking, innovative thinking, collective awakener in transformation, is transforming your 6th house. That is your day-to-day rhythm. Pluto is transforming your daily routines, your work habits, and your sense of responsibility, showing you where your energy is being refined and where your systems for each and every day are truly evolving into something that's more aligned and that's coming into a place of harmony for you, where you're turning pains into passions, and then with your second house, turning it into profit. And if that resonates, let me know, because this is also where what you perceived as your greatest weakness is now becoming your renewable energy source. This is the sun here. This is your connection to source. This is also looking at where the past has taken you along your journey and where you're standing now because of it. So this is very big for you guys, and it's very empowering energy. Also, too, I will say, with this Grand Air Trine that is aligning this week before the full moon, we'll get into that as well, I promise. This is where it is showing you where your energy is being refined and where it's instead creating a flow between your worth, your purpose, and your daily life to help you see how your internal sense of value is directly shaping your external reality. And if that resonates, let me know, because this is where your reputation is starting to precede you. With the Three of Cups here, this is victory, this is celebration, this is support coming in, sharing with others, connecting with community and sincere allies that fulfill you with a sense of belonging. And I say that because this full moon in Scorpio is going to be rising in your third house of communication, your thoughts, your PR. If you're launching a business, just saying, no pressure, but it's activating at 11 degrees. So this is showing up and showing out in the world and being seen with your career, in your direction, your sense of purpose, seeing that in action in your everyday life and the actions that need to be taken that snowball into creating a legacy for your future. And it also is grounded in your value, reclaiming your power, and affecting your finances in a very positive light. So this full moon is bringing a completion to the last 6-month cycle. So think back over these last 6 months where you've been growing, especially since we started that Scorpio new moon. Now we're integrating those lessons. And I say that because it's happening in your third house. That is your communication, your thoughts, your PR, and it's aligning at 11 degrees. So your mind and your voice are coming into focus. And the number 11 carries this resonance of intuitive awareness and insight. So where you before questioned your intuition, maybe questioned your voice when it came to your intuition, now you're receiving the signs openly from Mercury, and you are grounding them into your action with compassion. So this is big energy for you guys. This is going to be integration, especially after all the Aries and energy happening in your 8th house of transformation. So with your 3rd house at 11 degrees being activated with this full moon, your 3rd house is going to highlight communication, thought patterns, and the way that you express your ideas in a very bright light. Something may become clear now through a conversation, through a realization, or even through an inner understanding that shifts the way that you think about a situation or about a relationship. You're moving towards victory when it comes to your career. This full moon brings emotional intelligence into your mental space in a prolific and profound way, and it allows you to see where your thoughts have been shaping your emotional responses and where your new perspective is truly ready to emerge through action in your day-to-day life, in your movement, in your rhythm, in your flow. And it's this moment of truth for you through awareness where clarity just arrives suddenly, especially with Uranus and Gemini, through what is said, what is heard, or what is finally understood. This is where your inner fire, your inner divine light is being blessed by Jupiter, and it's because you're standing in your authenticity and you're walking in your purpose. And this is also where balance comes in to be restored, where true soul tribe alignment comes in as well, through reciprocity. So through all of this, think back as to the last 6 months as to what is coming to a completion. When you set your intentions, what needs to be released to truly allow you to walk forward into this new beginning as we start a new 6-month cycle, because we also happen to have with this full moon alignment, Mercury, your ruler, being conjunct with Chiron. And remember, they're both in Aries, in the first sign of the Zodiac, christening a new beginning as we journey, as both planets journey through the signs, but they're also in your 8th house of transformation. So that is looking at intimacy, shared energy entanglements, and that includes financial, spiritual, physical, mental. This is big. So with this conjunction between Mercury and Chiron happening at 27 degrees, it also holds this energy and resonance of completions through dualities, through your relationships, and also through surrender, through faith, trusting that divine timing. That divine timing is coming and is happening in real time for reality right now this week. I've got goosebumps. If you do too, let me know. Put a heart in the comments below, because this conjunction is going to bring everything into your emotional depth, trust, inner transformation. And this is where the healing truly becomes intimate and deeply personal for you, especially with this full moon closing some things out to release what was overburdening or restricting you. And this is where, as you can see, it's this is your emotions. This is what you hold most dear. This is what's transforming, because it's now becoming what you carry forward with you in a way that shows that it's your strength. So Mercury brings awareness to your thoughts around vulnerability, shared energy, and emotional honesty. And Chiron is revealing where there's old wounds or fears that may have shaped how you trust, or how you're either hesitant or haven't been opening up in the past. And it's also illuminating where you or how you process emotional intensity. So it's all about where you react instead of respond, and choosing where your path is going forward with those aspects. And at 27 degrees, there is a strong integration point happening here this week, where understanding begins to replace avoidance. Emotional truth becomes something you can hold in front of you for the world to see, with more compassion and clarity. You may find yourself recognizing patterns in how you attach, how you release, how you protect your energy, and it's beginning to shift this week in a very conscious way. This is like having the inspiration to go after your passions, share them with the world in a more open expression that is is more aligned to your truth, to your authenticity, and to the future forward direction that you want to go, especially when it comes to your career path, your purpose, your future. This is holding compassion for all of it and not settling for less, not being steered off course either, because I will say it again, remember, the wheel is turning in your favor. This is big energy, and you're receiving karmic rewards when it comes to your finances and when it comes to your career, your purpose this week. So this week, Virgos, everything is working together to align you and your inner value with your outer expression and your emotional truth. The Grand Air Trine is going to refine your sense of worth and your direction with clarity, because the full moon is going to be clarifying your thoughts, your communication. Mercury and Chiron, their conjunction is going to be deepening your emotional healing and trust to free you from whatever has been holding you back. And through it all, you are not becoming someone different. You are becoming someone more honest in how you think, how you speak, and how you value yourself in every part of your life. And it's time to make time to play. Have fun, be free, and enjoy the future that you are walking towards. Because after all the transformation that has happened in your 8th house with that Aries energy, this is the time where that beginning starts to truly unfold for you. And this is where Spirit is saying you are prepared. It is time to embrace the color that you have, everything that makes you beautiful. All your light, all your shadows, because it's what makes you you. You're finding your path, you're stepping into mastery, and oh my goodness, you've got prosperity as you walk into your higher calling. So now is the time, truly, I cannot stress this enough, lean into it. Don't shy away, don't sell yourself short, don't let life's distractions take you off course, make a plan for that future. And know that with the B, you are a powerful creator in your life. You, like your work, blesses everything that you touch. So now is the time to truly open yourself to receive, because look at what's happening. As you release your past, start this new journey, you're walking into mastery. This full moon is at 11 degrees. It holds prosperity, again, as you let go of your past. And as you step into your higher calling, you are opening the door to a world of abundance and good fortune that is truly waiting for you. You will find success and contentment. And the people, your true soul family tribe that are meant to walk with you as you walk through this door. So if that resonates with you this week, let me know what's unfolding, because there is something very big that is coming into fruition. And it's because you're standing in your authenticity. You're becoming more honest in how you think, I'll say it again, how you speak, and how you value yourself in every part of your life. Leo, so this week, your voice, your roots, and your relationships are realigning. And this week is going to move you through communication. It's going to move through your emotional foundation and your relationships in a way that helps you see how deeply connected your inner world truly is to the way that you express yourself and connect with others. So because this Grand Air Trine, the Scorpio full moon, and the Mercury Chiron conjunction are all activating different layers of your experience, they're all guiding you toward the same realization. And it's going to be prolific as well as profound, because it really truly shows you that your voice, your emotional security, and your closest connections are all shifting into a new kind of alignment in your life. And if that resonates, let me know, because I mean, look at this. One, I can tell right away you're coming to a completion about forging your way in a new foundation, but you're also coming into a new beginning that is going to be rooted with a solid foundation. And you're going away from norms here. You're going to be going and moving towards innovation that opens up and aligns you with your solar plexus. That is knowing that you've got everything within you to be walking inspiration. So as the moon moves into Libra, it is going to be moving into your third house. That is your thoughts, your communication. And when the moon does that, it's going to be activating the Grand Air Trine that is happening this week. Your mind is going to become more active. It's going to become more curious. It's going to become more expressive. And with Uranus and Venus just moving into Gemini, they just moved into your 11th house. That is your sense of belonging. That is your community. That is your contribution to your community. That is your long-held goals and dreams. So your social world this week and your future vision are opening in an unexpected and inspiring way, where conversations with friends, communities, or even collaborators may end up sparking new ideas or possibilities for where you're headed. And if that resonates, let me know. Share your thoughts, share your story about what's opening up for you. Because at the same time, you're supported when it comes to this new foundation. And as you can see, Aries energy, this is taking action towards Venus, the planet of your heart's desires. This is going after what lights you up, but also too experiencing the return on investment, seeing how that manifests in your material world, right? Where your familial life is not only committed, you to them, them to you, but it's filled with bliss, it's filled with stability, it's filled with peace, it's filled with balance and harmony. This is also where Spirit is saying, get ready, because wishes really do come true. Material success is meant for you. This is Jupiter blessing your dreams with this Piscean energy. But it comes through the idea that you're coming to a point this week of completion through integrating those lessons, right? Achieving your goals, ending a cycle, and it has to do with truly bringing voice to your relationships, your roots, your long-held dreams. And at the same time, this is a very social Grand Air Trine for you guys, because Pluto, who is in Aquarius right now, future forward-minded thinking, right? And that's rising for collective solutions as opposed to one-sided solutions and contributions. Pluto is in your 7th house of partnerships and commitment. So where you commit to anchoring your social world with being seen through these new ideas, through sharing your dreams, through really cherishing and honoring what you value most in life, Pluto is going to be empowering you as you transform your one-on-one relationships. Pluto is bringing depth, bringing honesty, and bringing evolution into your relationships, into the way that you connect with others. And this Grand Air Trine truly creates a flow between your thoughts, your connections, and your partnerships. And in this Grand Air Trine, it allows insight to move quickly through conversations. It helps you see your relationships and your future direction from a more expanded perspective, where you're able to truly see, learn from others, develop and create new opportunities with others and through others in your connections, opening up your social circle as well. It creates like that new opportunity, new employment opportunities, new money opportunities, and new learning opportunities for you. So this is the time to truly lean in to those who you're aligning with, who are also aligned in the same direction and same flow as where you're headed for your future. And if that resonates, let me know. You could be dealing with a Gemini, a Taurus, or even an Aries at this time. And as we walk into this full moon, the full moon in Scorpio is going to be activating your 4th house. That is home, emotional foundations, safety, security, your roots. This full moon in Scorpio is not only closing out a 6-month cycle, so think about the last 6 months, where you've been headed, right? But it's aligning at 11 degrees. So your emotional foundation is not only coming into focus, but 11 carries that resonance of intuitive awareness and emotional truth that allows you to sit in your authenticity and let your truth truly shine for the world to see and share that truth with others. So with this all being in your 4th house, it highlights home, family, and your inner sense of safety. Something in your life may become clear now around your living situation, your family dynamics, or even your emotional roots. And it's helping you understand what you need in order to truly feel supported and grounded, feel balanced. This is where it's like after an illness or battle, whatever has been shifting in that site, like in your 4th house over the last 6 months, this is the time where it's like you're entering a stage of recovery, recuperation. The last 6 months you could have been withdrawing from family or family dynamics due to conflict or shifting living situations. But I do want to also say and highlight, this full moon is not just about your past. It's about the emotional honesty within yourself in the present moment, where you begin to recognize what supports your inner stability and claim it, voice it, especially with this Grand Air Trine, activating all 3 of the most social houses in the 12 houses altogether. This is about claiming what no longer feels aligned and releasing it, and then voicing what truly does work for you, what does make you feel supported. So as you set your intentions for this full moon in Scorpio, think about what needs to be released and what needs to be voiced to align you to that truth that really makes that safety come into your life, that security be filled within and in your outer world. And if that resonates, let me know. Because then we've got Mercury being conjunct with Chiron. Both of these 2 are in Aries. They are in your 9th house. That is your higher self-wisdom, temperance card here. Higher self-wisdom, brighter horizons. That is your higher, like aligning to your higher timeline. It's exploring new avenues, higher learning, may even involve travel. This is big. Some of you could be moving living situations quite literally. And if you are, let me know in the comments below, because this Mercury-Chiron conjunction, Mercury is your winged messenger. Chiron is your wounded healer. And in your 9th house, they are expanding something here for you and expanding your healing, your beliefs. And they're aligned at 27 degrees. So it holds this energy of completion. It holds this energy of duality, as well as partnerships, commitment, and faith. It's bringing everything into your beliefs, your perspective, your higher understanding into a place of healing. And this is where the healing truly becomes philosophical and mental for you this week. Because Mercury brings awareness to how you think about your future, your direction, and your belief systems all together. And Chiron is revealing where past experiences may have shaped doubt, limitation, or hesitation in how far you allow yourself to expand. This is coming into into attunement, right? Internal balance, external outer world expansion. Opening to creativity and art, fusing that truth to your harmony in a new beginning that has a solid foundation that lets you take the full shoes journey when you align and unblock your crown chakra. And if you just got chills like I did, let me know. Because this is where, at 27 degrees, there is a strong integration point that is happening for you this week, where understanding replaces old mental patterns and where your perspective begins to truly shift into something more open, more wise, and more self-trusting. And it's really illuminating where you're going your own way, but also too, where you're taking your power back from those that where deceptions and betrayals, schemes, ulterior motives in the past, or even fibs, right? Or a disregard of your emotions, your sense of security and safety, have truly shaped this doubt, this limitation, this hesitation in your life, and implicated it or influenced your discernment and your decisions going forward. And if that resonates, share your story, put a heart in the comments below, because I feel you on that. Chiron's helping you to heal this. And in that way, you may find that as you heal this energy, you may find yourself redefining what you believe is possible for your life and for your future. And it's opening up a brand new world that's going to make you feel lighter, brighter, and more supported, especially with your 3 social houses being activated this week with this Grand Air Trine. So this week, Leo, everything is working together to align your communication, your emotional foundation, and your worldview for yourself and for your future. The Grand Air Trine is going to be opening your mind and your connections in a bright way. The full moon is going to bring clarity to your inner world and your home life in a very transformative way. And Mercury and Chiron, as they conjunct, they're going to be reshaping your beliefs and your perspective. And through all of it, you're not losing your stability. You're learning how to build it from a more honest and authentic place from within yourself. So this is the week to truly ask, do your thoughts need a reboot as your mind, your voice, your roots, and your relationships expand and realign? Because now is the time to truly focus on the good in your life. Let go of what's been holding you back or limiting, making you hesitate. Stand in your truth and know that it's enough. Know that your honesty is truly what deepens the bonds. Because at this point, your future, your legacy, what you're building, your ideas, your path is truly protected. And as you find that harmony within the rhythm, your path will unfold as you go with the flow and become the master of finding life's flow altogether. So this is the time to know that as you persevere in your walk forward, you will succeed. You have everything that you need, and it's all coming to light with a brand new opening this week. And if that resonates, let me know. Cancer, this week, your inner world, your joy, and your purpose are aligning. So this week is going to move through your emotional foundation, your subconscious world, and your sense of purpose in a way that helps you understand how deeply your inner life is shaping everything that you're building in your outer world. Because the Grand Air Trine, look at this, 10 of Cups, what? This is gorgeous. We're going to talk about this. The Grand Air Trine, the Scorpio full moon, and the Mercury Chiron conjunction that are happening this week are all going to be activating different layers. But they are all guiding you toward the same realization, which is that your emotional roots, your creative expression, and your life direction are all becoming more interconnected and more conscious right now. So as the moon moves into Libra this week, it will be activating your 4th house. And as that Libra moon activates your 4th house, it's also going to be activating this Grand Air Trine. So it's turning your attention inward, basically, toward home, emotional safety, and your inner foundation, right? Your sense of safety and security. And with Uranus and Venus both moving into Gemini this last week, they moved into your 12th house. That is your house of your subconscious, your hidden talents, your hidden gifts, also revealing hidden enemies, inward and outward. You tell me. If that resonates, let me know what's been revealed to you as this transition has happened, because there is a quiet but powerful awakening that is happening with this Grand Air Trine this week within your subconscious, where your old emotional patterns, memories, or even unseen fears may begin to surface in ways that bring clarity rather than confusion. And remember, Uranus is our great awakener planet. He is electric sudden epiphanies. Venus is your heart's desires. This is where it's like you're looking as all of this comes to the surface, and you're also learning that as this is revealed, you're holding that compassionate lens for yourself at the same time. And remember, Pluto is in Aquarius. Pluto is part of this Grand Air Trine, and he is activating, our planet of transformation, is activating your 8th house of transformation. This is going to be a big Grand Air Trine that really hits your energy. This is going to deepen your emotional transformation around trust, intimacy, and energetic exchange, showing you where emotional depth is reshaping the way that you connect with others, and most importantly, with yourself. So whatever bubbles up, whatever emotional patterns, memories, unforeseen fears come to the surface, this Grand Air Trine is truly creating this brand new opportunity for you. It's creating a flow between your inner world and your subconscious mind and your emotional bonds. And through it all, it's allowing this insight within you to gently rise in a way that's meaningful, that hits your awareness and your material world, where you can start truly holding that compassion for your passions, for your will, for your drive, for your action. But this is also your dreams, right? So when it comes to your roots, your family ties, this is transforming a way of your family or your family life in a way that creates enduring success, fills it with joy, fills it with love, fills it most importantly with a sense of belonging, but also a sense of spiritual pleasure. And this bright future, I mean, as you can see, this is impacting your foundations, and it's tied to your roots, where you water your seeds, where you build a family. And it's looking at where you have been hesitant in taking action before. And I say that because we also have that full moon in Scorpio happening. So think back over the last 6 months when we first had that new moon in Scorpio, because now we're at a point of completion of that 6-month cycle. And with the full moon being in Scorpio, rising in your 5th house, this is all about basically coming to a completion where this whole last 6-month journey has been reconnecting your life, your familial bliss, to you. This is like coming home to joy, coming home to love, coming home to your heart. And this full moon is looking at what needs to be released, right? Where there was a lack of wisdom, where there was short-lived victories, or where there was destruction, what's been falling down that wasn't built on solid ground, where there's been chaos, unfulfilled ambitions, where you felt like you were headed in the wrong direction because you were surrounded by negativity. This full moon in Scorpio is not only rising in your 5th house of bliss, love, joy, creative expression, it's aligning at 11 degrees. So it holds this mastery resonance to it. And it's opening and illuminating your heart and your creative expression as it brings all of that into focus for you. And remember, the number 11 carries the resonance of intuitive awakening and emotional clarity. And in your 5th house, it's highlighting joy, creativity, romance, self-expression. You may be embarking on a new relationship that leads to this 10 of Cups. Let me know if that resonates, if something's opening for you as you release and make room for this new beginning. Put a heart in the comments below, because something may become emotionally clear now for you under this full moon around what truly brings you happiness, what feels creatively fulfilling for you, or what your heart truly desires to express. This is big because it's the 6 of Pentacles, right? What I'm seeing in this, especially when it comes to your home life, what fills you with bliss in your family roots, is really that law of reciprocity, right? It's fairness, it's giving and receiving, having people meet you halfway, really are aligning in the same way of what values are held most dear. And so this full moon is truly asking you to reconnect with what makes you feel alive, not in a surface level way, but in a way that feels emotionally honest, deeply aligned with your inner truth. This is where the movement truly starts to happen, because as you align with your truth, you're getting the intuitive downloads from that 12th house activation with Uranus and Venus. And remember, that is our great awakener and your heart's desires planets, that this is happening in for you. So with this full moon, it is truly a moment where joy and vulnerability meet for you, Cancers. And it's going to allow you to express yourself more fully. And as you do, that's where action starts happening. There's good news that's coming in. It's where you start feeling unrestricted. It's where you start taking off this blindfold, because you're entering into a place of integration in those lessons of what's closing out, so that Jupiter can bless your life going forward as this new door opens. And I say that because as you're receiving this good news, seeing acceleration happen as you stand in your personal power, you start to receive your harvest, right? Your return on your energy investment, where people truly meet you halfway in your family and home life. And then we've got Mercury and Chiron here helping you out too. So Mercury being conjunct with Chiron, they are both in Aries. They are in your 10th house. That is your house of career, honors and achievements, visibility. This conjunction is happening at 27 degrees. So it's bringing everything into your direction, your career, your public identity, into a place of illumination that allows for healing. So this is where healing truly becomes visible and purposeful for you this week. Mercury is going to be bringing awareness to where that blindfold was. It's taken that blindfold off in a way where it's truly showing you like how you think about your path, your responsibilities, your achievements, truly shapes your future. While Chiron at the same time is going to reveal old wounds or insecurities that may have shaped how you've shown up in the world in the past, and where your confidence has been influencing, or lack thereof, has been influencing how you feel about your direction and where you're headed. And if that resonates, let me know. Because if you've been leading your life feeling powerless, feeling stuck, mentally imprisoned, feeling captive, feeling anxiety, or even feeling ostracized, this is going to be a new beginning where you kind of take the reins when it comes to your future. And this is going to be the true power this week that shapes you. Because with the Magician card, it's a new beginning where you start to trust your intuition. You start to trust and stand in your spiritual creative power. You're standing in a place of self-mastery. You're making plans without questioning them, without doubting them. You're putting those ideas into practice. The universe is telling you through your intuition that everything is ready. And this is where at 27 degrees with this Mercury-Chiron conjunction, there is a strong integration point where past experiences are beginning to transform into wisdom for you about your purpose, about your ability to step into your purpose more fully. And because of it, you may find yourself reassessing your goals or recognizing where your voice and your presence in the world are truly ready to evolve. This is going to be powerful for you because I'm just going to point that out right away. This is where you start to take this Magician energy and you start to walk towards your 10 of Cups. You start to build it, and you no longer are hesitant on where to take action. You're no longer confused either on where to take action. And if that resonates, let me know. Because this week, Cancer, everything is working together to align your inner world with your emotional expression and your outer direction. The Grand Air Trine is going to be opening your subconscious and your emotional foundation. And meanwhile, the full moon in Scorpio is going to be bringing your heart and your creativity into focus where it once felt maybe dimmed or stagnated. And Mercury and Chiron, their conjunction is going to be reshaping your purpose and your visibility. And through all of it, you are not becoming someone different. You are learning how to let your inner world and your outer life move in the same direction. Because you are too amazing to follow everyone else. And this is the week, this is the time where the universe is telling you it's time, you're ready, everything is ready to forge your own path. This is the week where your inner world, your joy, and your purpose are all aligned. So don't let any type of hesitancy hold you back. It is time to shine in all of the brilliant light that you have and all of your vibrancy that makes you you, because you were born to shine. And you were born to inspire. So be grateful for life. Be open to the good things that are coming in. Be true to yourself and recognize your brilliance, because everything is going to be aligning in a way where your inner world and your outer world are now headed in the same direction, and it's going to light you up and it's going to feel good. And if that resonates, let me know. Gemini, this week, your identity, your joy, and your future are aligning in such a prolific way. So this week is going to move through your identity, your creativity, and your sense of direction in a way that helps you understand how quickly you are evolving into a more authentic version of yourself. Because the Grand Air Trine, the Scorpio full moon, and the Mercury-Chiron conjunction are all activating different parts of your life, different parts of your experience, but they're all guiding you toward the same realization, which is that your self-expression, your habits, your future vision are all beginning to align in a more intentional and conscious way. And for some reason that wanted to stick, So we're going to talk about it. I was called to pull it out. So as the moon moves into Libra, this is going to be a beautiful time for you with this Grand Air Trine because it's activating and illuminating your 5th house. That is your house of bliss, your house of love, joy, creativity, what lights you up. And as the Grand Air Trine activates with this Libran energy, your creativity, your joy, your self-expression are all coming into focus. And keep in mind, we just had Uranus and Venus enter your sign and your 1st house this last week. That is our planet of great awakenings, divine surprises. Venus is your heart's desires. She is our Renaissance woman planet. This is like seeing the beauty, surrounding yourself with your beauty, with life's beauty, I should say. So with Uranus and Venus in your 1st house, in your sign, there is a powerful awakening happening within your identity. Also too, in where you are beginning to show up differently in your life, and where and how you're beginning to speak differently and express yourself with more authenticity and more spontaneity. At the same time, Pluto is in Aquarius. Pluto is forward, future thinking, innovation, focusing on like a collective win-win solution as opposed to systems that only benefit certain people out of others, right? Out of the 1%. I always like to give that as an example. But Pluto in Aquarius is in your 9th house of expansion. Pluto is our planet of transformation. He breaks down structures that don't serve the collective as a whole. So Pluto is expanding and transforming your belief system, your perspective, and your understanding of what is possible and truly possible in your life. This is where, look at what's transforming. With the Queen of Cups in reverse, it's like if you have been feeling emotionally exhausted, feeling moody even, no judgment, just saying, if you've even been feeling emotionally manipulated, this is the time where that type of jealousy, that type of hard-hearted confrontation that has been causing you to either be withdrawn or experience creative blocks in your life has been impacting your foundation, your root chakra. This is where, with the 5 of Pentacles coming in reverse, you are finding a link with this Grand Air Trine that is linking you back towards your spiritual power. And when you do, not only is it going to feel like a relief in your energy, it's also going to activate a reclamation of your personal power, because that is also Pluto. He likes to empower you. So with this Grand Air Trine, it is creating a flow between your identity, your creativity, and your higher vision. It is allowing inspiration to move quickly through you and in your life, in what you create. And it's helping you see yourself in a more expanded and liberated way that removes this lack mentality mindset, right? Where you feel impoverished. This is where it's like Spirit is saying, it is time, you're coming into your rebound power, right? Like this is like, if life has gotten you down, you're getting back up. You're finding out just how powerful you are when you stand back up as well. And as you do, you're entering this place of recovery, of recuperation, of being open to receive the blessings and abundance of optimism that Jupiter brings in your foundations. This is like a foundation of stability, through discipline, through order, through standing up and standing in your presence, in your everyday life, in what lights you up most in life. And I will also say, so with this full moon being in Scorpio, it will be rising in your 6th house. That is your day-to-day. So this is changing how you live each and every day. And so think back over the last 6 months when we had that first Scorpio new moon, because the last 6 months, this full moon now is completing a cycle that we've had around your day-to-day life and how you live it to life's fullest potential, to your fullest potential. So this is like opening a brand new energy, getting you out of monotony, getting you out of this lack mentality, getting you out of this impoverished state where you feel like you are living life in a way that allows you to truly stand in your truth, to truly look at what fills you with bliss, love, joy, how you express yourself, but how you do that by taking action and even the small things. each and every day. And remember, if you change one habit, you change your life, right? So with this full moon in Scorpio rising in your 6th house at 11 degrees, your daily life, your emotional well-being is coming into focus. And the number 11 carries this resonance of intuitive awareness and inner clarity. This is about knowing what lights you up and then living by that truth, right? And in your 6th house, it's going to be highlighting your routines, your habits, your work, and even your physical or emotional balance. So something with this full moon this week may become clear now about what is said and what is not, or what is and what is not working. And you're going to give voice to it. You're going to take action towards what is serving you, and you're going to start to release what is not in your day-to-day life. It is showing you where your energy is being supported and where it's being drained. So as you set your intentions, as you release something with this new, with this full moon, and set intentions towards this new 6-month cycle, this full moon is asking you to bring emotional honesty to the table. And bring emotional honesty into your relationships with your time, with your responsibilities, and with your body. It is a moment of awareness where small shifts in your habits can lead to significant changes in how you feel overall. This is focused on your dreams. This is focused on what lights you up, focused on your creativity, how you express what lights you up. This is also being sensitive, listening to your intuition again, and being sensitive to what your soul, what your gut has been trying to guide you towards. This is also where you're being handed a cup. So where there was discontentment, this is a repositioning or a realignment, reevaluating what you want in your future, what brings you joy, what allows you to stay present and live in your presence or with presence in your everyday life each and every day, so that you're not just checking out, right? And if that resonates, let me know, because we do have some help here coming in as well this week with Mercury and Chiron. And remember, Mercury is your ruler. Chiron is your wounded healer. It happens that these two are in Aries in your 11th house. That is your community, your sense of belonging. That is your long-held dreams. They are aligning in a conjunction this week with this full moon at 27 degrees. So it not only holds this point of duality, trusting divine timing, but also this point of completion for you that is opening up. And this conjunction is bringing focus and like attunement, a healing nature to your friendships, your communities, and your future vision. This is where healing truly becomes social and forward-focused for you this week, because Mercury brings awareness to how you think about your place in your groups, your sense of belonging in your community, and also too how you go after your long-term goals. And it highlights your connection to others, where everybody comes together through meaningful work, through teamwork, through collaboration, through creativity and communication, to build a structure that lets your passions truly soar, where you become inspiration in action. And at 27 degrees, there is a strong integration for you that is happening with this conjunction, where old patterns begin to transform into wisdom about the kind of people and the visions you want to align with moving forward. And if that resonates, let me know, because this week you may find yourself reconnecting with a goal, a community, or a dream in a way that feels more authentic and more emotionally aligned. And this week, Gemini, everything is truly working together to align your identity with your joy, your habits, and your future direction. The Grand Air Trine is expanding your self-expression. The full moon is bringing that clarity to your daily life and your well-being. And Mercury and Chiron, their conjunction, are healing and redefining your connection to community and to your vision. So, through all of it, you are not trying to become someone new. You are finally allowing yourself to live in alignment with who you have been becoming all along. This is where Spirit is saying it is time to say goodbye to your past. Leave that baggage behind for good. Do not let it define your future for a moment longer, because this is the time through your creative expression to let your feelings out. All of them. Even the ones that scare you. And if that resonates, put a heart in the comments below. Share your thoughts in the comments below, because this week, as your identity truly aligns you back with your joy, and then aligns that, takes it one step further and aligns it with your future. This is where you're being reminded of your true power and you're reclaiming it. With the grizzly bear, this is standing in your personal power, honoring your intuition, following where it leads you, but also knowing how indestructible you are. Most importantly, it's reminding you that love and gentleness are your true strength, and you are protected. So is your future. You are blessed. This is like having the moxie to not give up on those dreams, right? Knowing that as you only lose if you quit, right? So think about what you've been holding on to for a long time, what you've always been called to. Know that at this time, you're being awakened to the unlimited possibility of you, and that this dream truly is possible. The only way that you lose it is if you give up on it. And if that resonates, let me know. Because this is the time where, as you use your intuition and follow it to where it takes you, where you want to go, you are awakening to the powerful blessings that you're meant to create with the magic that lies within you. Because you've got a gift that is truly meant to be shared with the world and with your community. And if that resonates, let me know. Taurus, this week is going to be a week where your work, your worth, and your relationships are realigning. So this week is going to move through your daily life, your sense of value, and your closest relationships in a way that helps you see how much your outer reality is directly reflecting your inner state. Because the Grand Air Trine, the Scorpio full moon, and the Mercury Chiron conjunction that are happening this week are all activating different layers of your life, of the houses in your chart. And this is where they are all guiding you toward the same realization, which is that the way that you work, the way that you value yourself, and the way that you connect with others are all beginning to shift into a new kind of balance and awareness. And if that resonates, let me know, because this is going to be liberating for you. This is going to be your rebirth. So as the moon moves into Libra this week, it is moving into your 6th house. That is your day-to-day flow. That is your rhythm. And it's activating the Grand Air Trine that is happening this week. And when that happens, your attention is turning towards your routines, your responsibilities, and the structure of your daily life. And keep in mind, Uranus and Venus just changed signs. They just moved into Gemini, and they moved into your 2nd house. That is your house of value, worth, and also finances. So we've got our Great Awakener planet. We have our Heart's Desires planet now in Gemini, in your 2nd house of value and worth. And they're trine to the moon, focusing on your 6th house. So there is a shift that is happening in your relationship with money, in your relationship with value, and your relationship with your self-worth this week. And this is where new ideas or unexpected changes may be helping you redefine what stability actually means for you right now. And if that resonates, let me know. Because at the same time, Pluto, our planet of transformation, is in Aquarius. Pluto is part of this Grand Air Trine. It just so happens that Pluto is in your 10th house. That is your career, your visibility, your honors and achievements. Pluto is transforming your career path and your public direction. This is a start of something new, right? This is like a liberation from something that was painful. This is like your personal revolution where you take on a whole new avenue. You could be, especially with your 6th house, your 2nd house, and your 10th house, you may be getting a new job. You may be starting a new career. It may be also coming with a raise. I'm just saying. And if that's happening in your life right now, let me know, because we've got the 10 of Pentacles here. So put a heart in the comments below if that resonates. This is going to be a big step for you. It's going to be asking you to step more fully into a version of success that feels authentic rather than conditioned. And you deserve it. You've got the 10 of Pentacles here. This is lasting wealth and prosperity. This also trickles into your family life where you're able to create a stable foundation for your family. that's got financial security. This also may be if you're launching a business as well, if you're self-employed, you may be coming into contact with a new business partner, and it's leading you to a place of success that is a whole level up era for you. So this Grand Air Trine is creating a flow between your habits, your worth, and your purpose. And it's allowing you to see how the way that you care for your daily life is truly shaping your long-term direction. And this is going to be opening you up to a whole new beginning. And it happens that we're coming into a full moon in Scorpio this week. That full moon in Scorpio is in your 7th house of partnerships and commitments. And it's also bringing out a closure to the last 6-month cycle. So think back when we had that new moon in Scorpio, what's been kind of transpiring over the last 6 months, because something is coming to a point of completion for you. And it just so happens that this full moon in Scorpio is aligning at 11 degrees in your 7th house of partnerships, commitments, relationships. Your relationships are coming into full emotional focus for you. And with the Queen of Wands here, this is like taking action towards your dreams with the right people, with the right optimism alignment, with the right self-confidence, and you are thinking clearly and moving clearly as well. Because the number 11 holds that resonance of intuitive clarity and awakening. And in your 7th house like this, it is highlighting partnerships, connections, and the way that you meet yourself through others. So you're really looking at like how you meet your true soul mirrors, how you align with your true soul tribe. And that can be like in your family life, friendships, relationships, marital relationships, and also business partnerships too. And if that resonates, let me know what's going on in your life, because this is going to be big. This full moon is not just about others. It's about understanding yourself more deeply through the mirror of your relationships, where honesty becomes the key to your emotional clarity and your emotional alignment. And we've got an opportunity of healing here because Mercury is your winged messenger. This is your intuition, your thoughts, your words, connecting with Chiron, the wounded healer. And it just so happens that these two are in Aries in your 12th house. And they are conjunct at 27 degrees. So it holds this energy of duality and divine faith, partnerships, as well as working together. So it's bringing everything into your subconscious as well, with your 12th house being activated. Your inner healing, your unseen emotional world, what's been suppressed, where you've basically been blocked from your intuition, your hidden talents, your hidden gifts. This is also illuminating hidden enemies. I'm just going to say that. So this is where healing truly becomes quiet, but deeply transformative. So we're looking at where there's been delayed action, where you've received bad news, where you haven't been tapping into your true potential, your true creativity, your true innovation. And as Mercury brings awareness to your inner thoughts through your dreams, through your mental patterns, the way that you think, the way that your subconscious talks truly to and operates beneath the surface as it talks to your state of consciousness. This is where Chiron plays a very hefty role this week, because Chiron is revealing where old wounds, old fears, unresolved emotional experiences may be influencing how you think, how you feel, or how you protect yourself. And if that resonates, let me know. Put a heart in the comments below, because at 27 degrees, there is a strong integration point that is happening here for you, where unconscious patterns are beginning to surface so that they can be understood. More importantly, they can be closed out and released with this full moon. They can be reprocessed with greater compassion for others and for yourself to truly set yourself free and reclaim your power. You are learning how to rebuild it from a place that is more honest. Rebuild your foundation from a place that is more honest. So as all this energy is taking place, if you feel the need for rest, reflection, or even just space for emotional processing, as you process everything that's coming into your awareness, take that time, because your inner voice is going to be asking something of you. It is time to listen, and it is time to act this week as your work, your worth, and your relationships realign And remember, with this new job opportunity, I'm just saying it's happening. Let me know if whatever comes into your life. I'm very excited for you guys, because this is the time to just be you and know that it's enough. When you're authentic, when you align with your truth, that's when you know that you're truly aligned with your true soul direction. And anything else, trying to live by others' expectations, that's what diminishes you. And it can feel exhausting. This is the week to release all of that, because this week, Taurus, everything is working together to align your daily life with your worth, your relationships, and your inner healing. The Grand Air Trine is going to be refining your routines. It's going to be refining your sense of value. The full moon is going to bring emotional clarity through your relationships. Oh my goodness, thank you. And Mercury and Chiron, their conjunction is deepening your subconscious healing to set you free. It's going to deepen your awareness. And through all of it, you are not losing your stability. You are learning how to rebuild it from a place that is more honest, more grounded, and more aligned with who you are becoming and who you're meant to become. This is where you are learning not just to survive, you are learning to thrive. And in that strength, you are regenerating. You are transforming. So lean into your transformation. Lean into your perseverance, your moxie, because that is where you're going to be reclaiming and finding your personal power. And just know that with patience, what I love about the Ram is that with patience, you can reach all of your dreams. You can reach all the mountaintops that you want to climb. It's only when you quit that you have to start heading back downhill, right? That you stop rising. That is dependent upon you. And if that resonates, let me know, because this is where you are going to be tapping into your potential. You are going to be finding that those challenges are what make you stronger, and you're going to be finding out just how strong you are this week. So lean into that new opportunity that's coming through. And when you're called to, just remember, take time, have faith. To dream, to rest, to renew your strength. It is okay to feel drained, and take that time for yourself that you need, because as you do, you're realigning your energy, and that's what allows your intuition to take the lead. And that is where your true soul growth starts to truly happen. And if that resonates, let me know. And so guys, this week, work with herbs that support both mental clarity and emotional release are truly going to help you in bringing clarity and transformation into your life. So peppermint can help awaken the mind, sharpen your awareness, especially as the Grand Air Trine activates communication and insight in your life. Chamomile will also offer gentle emotional soothing for you, especially as you close out chapters with the Scorpio full moon. So it's going to help soften those deeper feelings of that Scorpio energy that may come to the surface. Sage can also be a powerful ally this week for you guys as you walk through any type of energetic cleansing to unblock your chakras that is needed. It's going to help you clear out stagnant thoughts, lingering emotions, or anything that feels mentally or heavily misaligned. Crystals, like clear quartz, especially with a full moon happening here, will help amplify your intentions, will help bring clarity to your thoughts and decisions. Moonstone can help you stay connected to your intuition and your emotional rhythm, especially as hidden truths rise into awareness this week. Smoky quartz will also offer grounding and energetic protection for you, as it helps you release what no longer serves, while it also helps you stay rooted in your body and in the present moment. Whatever comes through, may this weekend open your mind to the guidance that surrounds you in every thought, every conversation, every moment of quiet realization. May the winds of this Grand Air Trine bring clarity where there has been confusion before, connection where there has been distance before, and insight that gently but powerfully shifts your path forward. And as the full moon rises, may you have the courage to feel what surfaces, to honor what is revealed, and to release what your soul is ready to let go of. May you trust the emotional truths that come into light, knowing that they are not here to overwhelm you, but they're here to transform you. Let your voice become the bridge between your mind and your heart, because your awareness is going to deepen much greater, your awareness is going to come to light much deeper than when you let your fears lead the way. That's what I'm trying to say. So may you walk forward feeling lighter, clearer, brighter, and more aligned with the truth of who you are becoming. And if this message resonates, by all means know that your support is what elevates these messages to the collective. So please like, share, subscribe, like and hype, share your thoughts in the comments below about what's coming into your life this week. But either way, I am wishing you guys a beautiful week. Have a happy full moon, a beautiful Grand Air Trine, and a much needed healing and walk towards health and realignment with the Mercury Chiron conjunction. Take care. Have a beautiful week, and I will see you in the next reading.